Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
I'm 32 years old and I'm a bad boss and I need to make sure my body count's up.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing on TikTok right now is young girls having a high body count, which is sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. And why specifically do you think that's sad? Because a lot of people would say that, hey, this is great. This is like female liberation. Women can live as men. Like, who cares? Let it eat.
I think they regret it when they get older. Dan, how was it you told me that you told Sophia about like the
Shaming
reputation?
the
He said something about the only people we remember from high school
are the whores.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Good day, everyone. Good day. Welcome to the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Bubba's not here today. He won't be here for the rest of the week. But you got us. We'll be giving you live programming all week long.
You okay?
Yeah. I feel like I don't sound okay.
Well,
I feel like it's my first time talking today. I probably should have done some warm-up exercises.
I've been in here for about 15 minutes, and I heard you've been clearing your throat the whole time, and now I heard you on the air. Now I'm concerned.
Oh, no, I'm good. It's not sickness at all. I think I need to chill with the dairy deal.
Seth's getting his mask out.
Oh, relax. You're
I'm not
fine.
even-
If anyone's sick, it's Macho Man, okay? That mother ever is sick.
I was sick all last week, so.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was fighting something, but no. Yes, today actually I feel much better than yesterday. Yesterday was not great for me because I really didn't sleep all that well Sunday night. Did I introduce the staff? Lummy, thank you, is here. Dr. Dan, Seth, Rhett, Macho Man, and I believe I heard little baby Scout running around, so maybe that's... There it is again. I'm sorry. I apologize. But, yeah, no, today is so much better. My brain just feels like it's back online because the night before I was having these really, like, macabre dreams, or maybe some would call them nightmares, and I barely slept the night before. But last night I went to bed at 8 p.m. I'm turning into Bubba, by the way. It wasn't really too much a 2-4-6, but I don't know, maybe a 4-6-8, and I was in bed asleep at 8 p.m., so that's kind of why I sent... prep a little bit early, but we're here. I'm feeling good. Make sure you send money. We need money, please. Cash App, PayPal. I believe Venmo is still in question. Is that right?
Venmo is still down.
It's still down. And there's money like stuck in it, right? Like we cannot transfer the money out of it. Is that how?
I believe so. Correct.
It's like $300
There is still a balance, but we have not been able to access it.
Not good.
We
Not
can
good.
look at it.
We can. Oh, well, that's great. We can look at
Yes.
the money that we can't get, which is
Correct.
always fun too.
It's like a strip cat.
Yeah, it sure is. So Cash App, PayPal are the preferred methods, or Super Chat. You can give money on YouTube and Twitch. Bits are welcome, but I think Cash App and PayPal are preferred. So please send that at the Bubba Army. So yes, I feel like whenever you have a horrible night of sleep, you're kind of faced with the decision, if you have the time, when you get home. You can either nap or not nap. That is the question.
I always go for the nap.
You do?
Always.
I usually do if you want to save the day at all. But if you're like, I want to preserve for tomorrow, which is what I opted for, then you just power through. Somehow you just power through, go to bed early, and that's exactly what I did, and I feel so damn good today. So I'm glad that I did that. But as I was prepping for the show yesterday, I noticed something that was pretty crazy. You go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that my entire feed was inundated with Taylor Swift. And usually, it's you kind of you're like, ugh, annoying. This is crazy. But I was like, let me try to think back in history. Not that I've been alive for that long, but I don't think I've ever seen a celebrity with this kind of it's a weird sort of influence and power where I was seeing her name mentioned. We'll talk about it with they're vying for her endorsement. The Biden administration is, and then it's like, did she say "I love you" on the field? And then I'm like, what? And then they're talking about her at the Super Bowl and if she's gonna make it from Tokyo.
Oh, she's gonna make it.
What the hell is going on? It's like I've never seen a society and a culture and a world so obsessed with a single person.
But her art has impacted millions of people
including
around the world.
You, Seth. I believe you are.
I mean,
a Swiftie?
I'm not a fan of her music. I don't have anything against it at all. But I mean, when they come to town, you see the impact that they have on women, especially mothers, daughters. Then you saw that her tickets were going for $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 when they come to town, and she's doing several nights in a row. Yeah, it's a level of pop stardom that we haven't seen in a long time.
Well, Britney Spears was like that. You know, when I don't even know if you remember, Anna, since you're so young, but when Britney Spears was really at her peak, she had that kind of impact. And
like
it just
politically, though?
Yeah.
Steve
everywhere.
Watson, 20 on the couch.
Everywhere.
Thank you,
She was super powerful.
But was whoever was
little more
Bush
slutty.
and Al Gore? Was Al Gore trying to get Clinton trying to get the
oh yeah, they
the
all
endorsement?
were.
I know he was just trying to blast her before she turned 18, but
Everybody
was he? Right. No, she was super hot.
Yeah,
But
she's still pretty hot. But the thing is that Taylor Swift would be foolish to align herself with one political party because it alienates 45% of the rest of the world.
She did some stuff because I don't know if she officially lives in Tennessee or if that's her residence, but she's done some stuff
she's
for
like 40 houses.
Yeah, she's done some stuff in Tennessee before where I believe she came out and supported some Democratic candidates. It feels like maybe 4, 6, 8 years ago, but I don't.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, I can't see her getting involved in the presidential
But
race.
she did last time.
Was it presidential or was it local?
Yeah.
I thought it was
no,
something
no.
more. Oh.
She endorsed Biden and Kamala. And she even made like cookies with like Biden Harris 2020 or whatever.
Really?
Well, she's a fool.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, here's the thing. I think probably most of her fan base feels the same way as her. Maybe not. Even if she's in Tennessee, Nashville's very blue, and I feel like that's probably where she was performing. So.
Oh, well, the Taylor Swift, who she backed in Tennessee, lost.
Oh, well,
Nice.
I guess not so much.
Yeah, she doesn't have
not
that
so
power.
much influence there.
No doubt.
But that is obviously just Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're saying that obviously in the global perspective, it's going to be a lot, like I think 17 to 20%.
Would she have a legitimate chance against Joe Biden
Against him?
Against him? What do you mean?
in the presidential race?
Probably.
Oh, easy.
Oh my God, dude! You would
Swift
beat Joe Biden.
Really?
Yeah,
You think
dude,
so?
anyone could beat him. They're trying to keep
Anybody
everybody
could do
else
it.
out of the race because anybody could beat Biden.
I'm really serious that they just rolled out a celebrity who's like, hey, here we are. Like, is Biden going down if, Vin Diesel or The Rock shows up?
Vin
It's like
Diesel?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not him. Sorry, I got carried away.
I mean, it'd be like playing football against a gingerbread man. He's got no chance. He's got
then
no
why are they
freaking
trying to
chance.
play him? I mean, he
Because
won the
that's-
first time.
Because he's the only gingerbread man they have left in the bucket.
You don't. Yeah, I guess there's nobody else.
Bake some more.
The only thing that's worse than Biden is Kamala Harris. She's got like absolutely zero fans.
Yeah, I know.
And she sucks. And
Yeah,
she can't
she's bad.
speak. He can't speak. And I guess, Taylor Swift's, attracted the guys with head injuries. So,
Is that Travis Kelce?
yeah. I'm sure he's
Okay.
got a couple banged up
Mr.
ones.
Pfizer
He's very volatile, apparently, how he went off on the other side's kicker last game.
Oh, God.
You know what I
Like
mean?
yelled at someone,
Yeah,
or
those outbursts are signs of early dementia.
that
Wouldn't
is
be
true. We learned
unreasonable
that
to
yesterday.
Tight end.
We did learn that yesterday.
He'll be drooling and wearing diapers in no time.
Oh, God.
Just like our president, so that's
Yeah.
perfect.
She'll be right there to take care of him. She's a great woman.
She loves him. She
My
loves
president
him.
and my man.
So
My beard going the other way.
Shannon Sharp was actually talking about the impact of Taylor Swift, and I thought he made some good points here. So I'm going to play a little bit of this interview with him, and I believe, honestly, I don't know anything about sports. Apparently, this guy's name is Ocho Cinco.
Oh, God. You don't know who Ocho Cinco is?
Well, I imagine he was number 85. Is that
Yeah,
right? Okay.
that's a good guess.
I thought that this was T.I. for about 3.5 minutes before I was like, I don't think this is T.I.
Jeez.
My bad.
Wrong
I'm
with you?
sorry. I thought he was a rapper, but he's not. I believe he is a former football player. Is that right?
Yes,
and
one of the best.
formerly they named Chad Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
He changed his name.
He changed his name, kind of like Bubba the Love Sponge, but Ocho Cinco.
You would like him, Anna, when
Would
he got into the league his first couple of years. He wasn't sure, how much money he was going to have or when it was going to end. So he slept in the stadium. He slept in Cincinnati Stadium for the first couple of years.
Really?
In his car and everything. Yeah. So
He used to take Viagra before every game. He said nobody could guard him because he was out there running with 3 legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a tookie.
That's an actual comment from Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, that's an actual.
You think I'm just going to lie about that?
Reds doesn't know he
That's
has a third
crazy.
leg.
So Viagra is not considered like a
band. No.
yeah, like a PED for playing sports. No,
Actually
All right.
helps your blood pressure.
Right.
Keeps your prostate
Okay.
small,
But
lets
they
your hair
don't
grow.
screen for it.
No.
All right. Nice. Thank you. I didn't even push that. But here we go. Let's see a little bit of this.
Going to be
Come on, Shannon.
rooting for the 49ers because people are
think
tired
so?
of Taylor Swift. That was all. That's all I saw on my timeline. Oh, Taylor Swift, stop!
Taylor Swift ain't on the
Thank
field.
you. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to stop showing it. As a matter of fact, because here's the thing: what y'all don't understand, the NFL, and I took a page.
Do you guys like Shannon Sharp?
I think his mouth gets in the way when he's talking.
His mouth or his teeth and tongue?
I don't know what it is, but it's like he's got his mouth is in the way when he's trying to speak. Like his mouth is a speech impediment.
I kind of see what you're saying. You know what? I really like this guy. I actually really like this guy. Like
he's smart.
What
He's
he's
a great
trying
guy.
to do. He seems very personable.
Yes, and he's a massive man. If you see him physically, he's just an incredible specimen.
Just through the screen, but he looks like he's still got it. And he's what, like 50?
Yeah.
Something like that?
His late 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the NFL book when it came to my podcast. I'm a sports guy. People would naturally assume I just talk to athletes, but I wanted to talk to entertainers. I wanted to talk to actors. I wanted to talk to celebs.
All right, let me skip ahead a little bit.
If he drank too much or something,
where's
he
he
got
going?
like a thick tongue
We
today,
want
doesn't
live
he?
events. Netflix want live events. They just signed a deal, $5 billion with WWE. What would they play to get a playoff game?
All right, so he's saying like Netflix and I don't know, Hulu or what do you say, Amazon Prime? I don't know. Paid all this money to get sports on their channels, so obviously they want the most eyes on that. How are they going to do that? And that would be if Kansas City is in the Super Bowl because all the little girls are going to want to watch Taylor Swift, and women, and maybe me, would want to watch the Super Bowl to get a glimpse of Taylor Swift.
YouTube.
What?
I don't know if the Super Bowl ever needs like a ratings bump, but
I know I was thinking that too.
But I do know out of my own personal household, there is mothers are starting to plan with each other having a Taylor Swift Super Bowl party.
Really?
Disgusting.
No way.
That invitation went out yesterday. Yeah.
You know, the ultimate rib would be if they just didn't even show Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, they would never do that.
Everyone sat there and just waited the whole entire game.
And Kelsey has like 4 touchdowns and they never show
and
her.
they never show her, and everyone just keeps watching and all the commercials, waiting for them to come back to her, and they never do.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like that would not be
rib.
That would not be the move for money making reasons.
Why?
Huh?
They're not going to turn it off. They're waiting for her.
Okay, maybe, but I feel like that would piss a lot of people off.
What are they
right?
going to do? Not watch next year?
I guess you're right. Yeah, it
I
doesn't
mean,
really matter.
it's the last game of the year.
Yeah, I understand.
There were you could see, Anna, when you were kind of talking about sifting through all the Taylor Swift content that showed up yesterday on your algorithm. There is a video of hers where she's on camera saying, "Please get away from me."
Yeah,
so,
I did see that.
She's real. I mean, she can't do anything about it.
No. I'm not blaming
She's
her
not
at all. It's not like she's asking for all this media attention. It's just kind of like what happens when you're that big. But it's just weird because it's feeding on itself. You know, it just seems to be growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't see it kind of going in any other direction. I've never seen a society so obsessed with a single person before. It's kind of weird.
Well, she threw herself into the mosh pit, and now she's got to get a little dirty. So, she's going to be bumping and grinding and partying and, high-fiving. And there's going to be crowds around her and all the hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's, the thing that's disgusting about it is it's a football game, and all we care about is a singer. And that's the part that's really frustrating, because I knew 3 months ago when they started dating they were going to be in the Super Bowl, because it's too powerful for them not to be in the Super Bowl from a marketing standpoint. And I knew that no matter what, somehow mysteriously and magically, Patrick Mahomes was going to make it to the Super Bowl.
And you've been saying the fix is in this whole time, Dan.
I have been.
I know you have.
And so it is.
Could it not be that they're just a good team? Could it not
They
be
ain't that good this year.
Okay.
No, they
Again, I
ain't that good
didn't
this
watch a
year.
single game, and I don't even get the sport, so I wouldn't know.
But you know, again, every single discretionary call goes for Kansas City.
Okay.
And it has for the last month.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Right.
I mean, Seth, am I embellishing?
No. The Kansas City does get a lot of calls. Mahomes gets a lot of calls. He does try to, get the referees to, give him calls. People have said that he's a complainer and stuff. I just think they're a great team. I think they're in the middle of a dynasty, and I think Patrick Mahomes, is on his way to possibly becoming the greatest of all time. So, throw a little Taylor Swift in, makes things spicy. I am not fully on board with the NFL being scripted yet, but I'm open to being convinced.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Chiefs are really good, and they turned it on at the right time. We've always said that, is that any team that turns it on like the last couple games of the playoffs usually are the farthest they go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Chiefs did. They had their downtime, and then they came back. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback. He has good receivers. He has good weapons around him, and Andy Reid's a great coach.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can't take it away from him by saying it's fixed.
And he's won, what, you said 2 Super Bowls? This will be
the fourth one he's played in.
Yeah.
But he's won 2?
Yeah, and he's also played 17 postseason games, which is effectively a full season in the NFL. In those 17 games, he has a 14-3 record, 4,802 passing yards, 458 rushing yards, 39 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing TDs, 7
Scout
interceptions.
agrees.
Yeah, she's very excited about it.
She's a KC fan.
Outside of the postseason, those are MVP numbers. So he's definitely the real deal.
You think that at the end of his career, he will be better than Tom Brady? Does anyone even want to have that conversation yet? Or
They've had that
already-
conversation
Okay.
for 3 years.
All right.
Yeah,
my bad.
they already do. I think it's a conversation that's going to stop people from enjoying what Mahomes is actually doing right now. Because every time he does anything, they compare him to Brady.
It's like Michael Jordan and you get LeBron. You know,
yeah.
I mean, they're both incredible athletes. They're both, powerhouses,
Sure.
dynasties.
It's crazy though, because when we were watching Brady, we were watching Manning. I didn't know that another guy was going to come along that we could compare to those guys. So seeing Patrick Mahomes, it's almost like not anything that I imagined was going to happen in this lifetime. Once you get guys like we were saying, you see a Brady playing, then all of a sudden Mahomes comes by, and you're wondering, wait, is somebody next? Is C.J. Stroud the next guy? Is Caleb Williams the next guy? So
I always thought it was going to be Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, he's one of the best.
That's what I'm saying. He's one of the best, but everyone kind of disses him. I mean, you heard Dr. Dan right there just go,
Yeah, because he's not a winner.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not a winner.
He's like Dave Carradine.
He's not a winner, Lummy. That's what the people are saying.
Not a leader of men.
Yeah.
But he does do ayahuasca, and he's kind of funny. I feel like he'd
an
be a cool
interesting guy.
I want to have a drink with him. He seems like an interesting person.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
He's gonna be
He
spiked.
seems like he likes conspiracy theories like me. I like it a lot. So a little bit more of this.
Live events. What did they play?
Yeah.
$2.2 billion a year to take over for DirecTV. Y'all need to understand. NFL playing chess. Y'all playing checkers. Y'all talking about
man,
stop
just-
playing Taylor
yeah.
Swift. They said that we not
Hey,
gonna
I-
stop playing Taylor Swift because she's bringing a different demographic and new set of
Demographic,
eyeballs.
different set of eyes. Yeah, I said that we did the show a while ago. I think when she first went to one of the other games, I was trying to explain even then. People you have to think. You always remember the NFL's bottom line is always.
So then they say, he's trying to think of another, this Ocho Cinco character is trying to think of another person who would have that much pull and influence as Taylor Swift, and he comes up with Beyonce. And Shannon Sharp's like, not even close. Like, not even talking about the same animal here, just completely different. Can you think of any, I mean, you said Britney Spears. I feel like people are more obsessed with Taylor Swift than Britney Spears, because I feel like Taylor Swift, because she's not a very sexual character. It's like moms want their little girls to listen to her. So she kind of has more of a, I don't know, more eyes because she hasn't really cornered the sexual marketplace.
She wears sexy outfits. Is she not sexy because she has no ass? I mean, why is she not sexy?
I mean, I don't think that she wears. Maybe
wears,
just
bathing
in
suits and
comparison.
stuff on
I know,
one
but I
pieces
guess
like
maybe
mom would wear, but-
yeah, right. And it's also when you compare it to people like Cardi B or Christina Aguilera, even from when I was a kid, this is not sexual at all. And she's also in her 30s. She wasn't even dressing like that when she was 16 or something like that.
Yeah, she was like,
So.
she dressed like she was too young to be attracted to, and now she's dressing like she's too old to be attracted to.
I feel like you're not a fan of Taylor Swift, Dr. Dan.
I mean, she's got some good music. I just,
well, I mean, forget
hate,
about the music, but
I hate this interaction with the football. It's such a distraction.
Yeah, because you're a true football fan, like the rest of the guys in here. I feel like,
and I'm all about stardom in football, and I'm all about the the secondary stories and the side stories. But this is just taking over and is taking from the athletes actually playing the game.
Yeah, and even if you're not looking for it, even if it's not even part of your algorithm, but when I was on New York Post or Drudge Report, it's like, why is there 5 articles right in a row at the top all about Taylor Swift? It just seems a bit much.
Because it gets clicks.
Yeah,
Gets
it does.
views.
It does.
She needs to plug in the
Feeds
tanning
itself. Okay. Does she also need breast augmentation as well?
Yep, sure does. And so she just needs to go a squat or a lunge or two, too.
Isn't the
grow
rumor
some ass.
Isn't the rumor she has implants?
I've heard that.
I mean, it's
She
hard to
went
tell.
flat to like kind of flat.
Well, she's also, again, and I say this because I think she looks better, but she's like filled out a little bit. She used to be like just a stick with a head, and now I feel like she's got a little bit more of a body to her.
Her neck's filled out.
Okay, that's okay. Joe Biden desperate for T-Swift endorsement should be easy enough. See, and I was scrolling down here, and I think that there's the picture of her last go around with the election where she was telling people
Oscar
to
the
vote.
Grouch again.
No, sorry.
Better pictures.
But yeah, you can see here that she made some cookies that say Biden Harris 2020. So she's definitely part of the blue camp.
I wonder how much extra she pays in taxes now because she voted for Biden. I wonder how much it actually cost her.
Oh,
probably $20 million.
Yeah.
$100 million. What do you think, Seth? How do you think that Biden policies actually cost Taylor Swift for the last 3 years?
I'm so poor. I don't even know. I don't even know if it has an effect on me. I've been so ruined in the Biden economy. I don't even have any money.
It's that you're not flourishing in the Biden economy?
No, I was flourishing with Trump.
Were you?
I was doing better. Yeah.
Is that just by chance?
It seemed like there was a little more money floating around.
There was, man. I was doing better. Mommy, were you doing better?
Yeah, food was cheaper too.
It sure was. Gas was cheap.
Yeah. Was I doing better? I don't know. Probably not really. I was most of Trump era. I was working at a different place, and then
at least not sexually.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Your vagina's happy.
Yes, it is. Yeah. There's certainly a big improvement there,
Yeah.
But I feel like
triple-digit score.
Yeah, almost, Dan. We're getting moving in that direction, but I feel like with Joe Biden, I just don't know. Is he going to get this endorsement? He thinks it's going to be pretty easy enough, but I just don't know if that's going to be the case. It doesn't sound like she's too interested in it right now.
Well, she did support him 4 years ago, so it's going to be hard for her not to.
My money, like I just said, I don't have any. I'm saying that I'm saying no endorsement. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be, it could be a close race. Her endorsement might mean something, but I think she stays out of this one.
Go ahead.
I just think things are. Obviously, she was a massive global superstar last time, but I think even more so because how things are in America and all that. I don't think it would be good for her brand to get involved.
Because of the polarization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you see like whispers that she supports him but doesn't? So people then think
like send him money or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, her boyfriend's Mr. Pfizer, and she supported him last time, so people are just assuming that it's going to be a shoo-in for this. And they're also saying, and I don't know how true this is, that she can sway like a third of the votes. It was like some insane number of votes. I don't think she's really swaying anyone from red to blue, but I could see possibly her swaying a non-voter into voting.
If they, if all of a sudden they said, hey, girls between the ages of 6 and 17 can go vote, roll out Taylor Swift because she's making an impact in the election. But I don't know, outside of an 18-year-old girl, a 19-year-old girl, or maybe somebody going to vote for the very first time, very young person, I can't see her really swaying anybody because she's not going to make that big of a case. I think she's just going to come out and say who she supports. I don't think she's going to
support Joe.
I don't think she's going to make some long pitch about why he should be the next president.
Do you think that 19-year-old kid's going to, get out of the basement, get that Uber to the voting station and vote?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I would have. That's the only way they get down there.
Do you feel like kids these days, 18, 19-year-olds, are far less mature than they were even a generation ago? Do you feel like the childhood is elongated? Because I feel like, and again, it could just be that I'm old myself, but I feel like when I meet like an 18, 19-year-old, many of them have no interest in like
anything,
independence. Yeah, leaving home. Why would I leave? Like I remember hearing like my friends' kids saying like, why would I move out? Why would I leave? This is a great setup for me. I don't need a license. I don't need to kind of move on. I could just take classes online forever and live at home and not pay rent because, things are expensive these days and there's just no interest in leaving.
Who would have thought we'd be at a stage right now where single moms are the most mature 21-year-olds?
Yeah, it is true.
It's true. I mean, you're right, because a 21-year-old kid on the average has zero foundation and zero planning
whatsoever. So, that's a parent problem. But here's a little bit of this. Tickets to Super Bowl 2024 are the most expensive ever. Apparently they were pretty expensive when the Bucks were in the Super Bowl. It said it was like around 11,000? Yes, in 21 when they played against the Chiefs.
It was half the stadium.
That's why.
Half the stadium?
Yeah, there's instead of 65,000 tickets, there's like 35,000 tickets.
I get, okay, because it's like every other seat. Right, I remember that because it was in 21.
Expensive.
And we beat the Chiefs, right?
Yes, we sure
I'm a sports fan. Okay, the Bucks beat the Chiefs.
Yes, the year before when the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl in Miami.
Okay.
And it was like their first big, Super Bowl. The tickets were going for about 6,000 to 7,000.
And that's because no one
cared.
There. No one cared. And that was the first one that the Chiefs won against the Heat. I almost said the Heat.
Yeah, the Miami Heat.
Yes, the football, basketball, Dolphins. Pardon.
No, they play the Super Bowl neutral sites.
Oh, right.
Tampa Bay just happened to have it here.
Right. So who did they beat in 2020?
I believe it was the 49ers.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a rematch
Garoppolo,
now.
Right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yep.
Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, he's a handsome man.
Fella, isn't
yeah,
he?
he sure is. But he I mean, not but he doesn't he like porn stars like as girlfriends? Again, I understand using them for other things,
he's
but
a porn star.
He's he
I mean, I think pretty much now. I don't think.
Oh, sorry. Go
I think
ahead.
his starting days are over. So I mean, I think he could make a transition into porn. Maybe start off with some POV before he reveals his true self. Behind the camera. But that's just how I would write it for him.
Is he not in this playing football anymore?
He is. He's just.
Shame.
I got to be honest. He probably made $18 million this year to get hurt and to not play it. Also,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that what you think? That's why they made it because he didn't play.
I think he's doing great. I think he's doing great. To be honest with you.
Oh wait, so he was the starter and then he got hurt and then the backup came in to play and now they're in the Super Bowl.
Well, no,
cool.
Jimmy's on the different team. Jimmy's on Vegas, I believe.
Who knew? I didn't know that.
He was on San Francisco's team. Yes.
I was right, though.
Okay, you were. And then this little kid came named Brock Purdy, who was the last guy picked in the draft.
Okay.
Started his first game against Tampa last year and was a superstar and is now, in the Super Bowl.
And this is his first year in the NFL?
Full season.
Full season in the NFL. Is that quite unusual for a person like that to come in and just,
It's quite unusual for the absolute last guy in the draft to be a successful quarterback.
Wasn't
Seth?
Brady like a fifth, sixth?
Yeah, sixth
draft pick?
I mean, you're
look at me.
There's a very little chance that anybody you pick in the 6th or 7th round even makes your team,
right?
Even sniffs your roster, no matter what position. So talking about a quarterback that not only makes the team, but then ends up being the starter, and a lot of people are saying that he's not that good, and it's the whole team around him. But I think there's something to be said for that they're in the Super Bowl and that he's their quarterback. And look, things didn't work out with Trey Lance; they unloaded him. He was a guy that they spent a lot of draft picks on, and Brock Purdy's working out. So just go with it.
Basic draft question: so if you're picked in the 5th or 6th draft pick, you may not even make the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they just pick you, and then what do they do with you?
You practice with them in the summer, and then you get cut, and then you go.
Yeah, you can go practice squad.
How much do those guys make?
They get paid
for
by
a
the
summer.
week, probably
by
$30,000 a week or something like
some
that.
Some of them get a signing bonus too. Normally, when they come out, like if they get either drafted or they sign as a free agent, they might get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
A lot of times, if they get cut, another team will pick them up, maybe to
At what round does it become like blah? Is it like after the 3rd, 4th round, and then it's like doesn't matter anymore? Or
well, like I said,
what's a
there's
respectable round to be?
Top
obviously, okay. I was gonna say obviously the 1st and 2nd, but okay, top 4, and then after that it's like meh. Okay. But look at this guy, this Purdy guy. He's going to the Super Bowl. That's pretty good news. Good for him.
I know. He's going to be just like everybody, their whole career, whenever they got drafted in the 6th round, they're like, look, Tom Brady got drafted in the 6th round. You could be just like him, which nobody ever did. Now they're going to be telling everybody they can be just like Brock Purdy, which might be more attainable.
Okay, I like that. All right, so here is a little bit of this. Tickets to Super Bowl, most expensive ever. And this year it's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
In Las Vegas.
You can stream the big game on February 11th right here on CBS, Paramount Plus, and Nickelodeon. Joining us now is CBS News special correspondent and the host of the NFL Today on CBS.
Do we know this guy?
James Brown.
JB.
James
Good
Brown?
to see you.
Not the singer.
Back from the dead.
Anne-Marie first. Anne-Marie,
I feel
look
good.
at Vlad's body language. Just like, okay, what does JB have for me today? Let's see if it can make me smile. But I have to tell you guys, after Torian Small, let me just...
All right, I think I've seen enough of this. Dan, you're not going to Super Bowl, are you?
I don't think so this year because I really don't care about either team. But
what about
it's
just
a
like the
party,
experience?
Well, I've probably been to like 10 Super Bowls, and so
right.
it's fun. I usually go if it's something worthwhile to go for.
Okay.
I don't feel like going to Vegas for this one because in Vegas it's easy to pay like $99 for a breakfast buffet. So I could see these tickets going for $15K all day long.
I
especially
honestly
with the
don't
Taylor
know
Swift BS.
if that's a lot of money or no money to you when you said $99 for the buffet.
Does that seem like an expensive breakfast buffet?
For me, yes.
Yeah,
for you,
anybody,
no.
for anybody.
Okay, I don't know. We're not kind of in the same, economic stratosphere
But still,
here.
it's expensive. It's expensive.
What's the cutoff, Dan, for like an all-you-can-eat? Let's say we're taking, going out for Mother's Day or something. Like,
Where?
Let's say something like oyster catchers or
No,
something.
like what city?
Oh, let's say we're just going out here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like,
Tampa.
What's your max that you would pay for like some sort of brunch buffet?
Unlimited.
Unlimited?
I'd be pissed if it was anything over $50 a person.
Okay. All right.
$60 a person.
Now, what
That's
if you're-
that's obscene.
What if you're?
I agree. No, you're right.
What
I
if you're
agree.
in Atlantis in the Bahamas?
70,
Okay.
75?
Dan should do a map and just write what's acceptable for
But
each
it's true.
one.
It depends
Per
on the
city,
town. Like
okay.
Tampa, $40-50 for a breakfast buffet is outrageous.
Yes.
Miami, anything over $60-70, outrageous. Vegas, it could be easy $100.
Right.
Things the prices in Vegas have no foundation in reality.
Sometimes you get those free breakfast buffets.
You could.
Yeah, the ones off the strip.
It's funny.
No, when you gamble,
At the
they
Days
give you a free
Like
one.
the free
Yeah,
continental breakfast? Like if they're on it?
Yeah. But those things, again, you get to have a free breakfast buffet. Oh, great. $200 a plate.
Yeah. Do you get like a big dopamine hit when you get free stuff, Dan, or is that just me and Seth and our variety?
That's your variety.
Okay. You
No,
seriously
everyone
don't?
likes
Come
free
on,
stuff. I
right?
love free
Exactly.
stuff. Come on, everyone.
Me and Seth just really put it over like a lot.
No, free stuff is great.
Yeah, sure. It certainly is. It's the best,
I think
man.
every single person likes free stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lummy. It's not just. May I say it because I am. It's not just a Jew thing. Okay.
No, it's in everything.
Everybody likes it. You feel like you're getting one up on everybody else. Makes you feel
Right.
good.
Millionaires like getting free stuff. They get it all the time.
All
That's
the
the thing. Isn't
All
that
the
funny?
time.
The more fame and money you get, the less you pay for. Which
yeah.
is,
I mean, there's coaches that haven't paid for a meal in years in their towns.
Yeah.
You think that the Alabama coach, or
Nick
the Ohio
Saban?
State coach,
Look at me go.
or the Georgia coach pays for anything when he goes out? I mean,
No.
everyone's giving them stuff.
Nick Saban got his house paid for.
What?
When he
By the
when
boosters?
he was the coach of Alabama, but yeah,
Oh.
by the boosters.
Really? How
So
much
I'm
was
saying-
his house?
I think he owed like $7 or $8 million. I think that was left on a deal.
Oh, so they just paid it off?
Yeah, they paid the bank off.
That's awesome because he was winning games.
Of course.
Yeah. What is he gonna do now? I know he just retired a few weeks
Probably
ago.
go play golf.
Play golf forever.
Yeah.
Was he like 70 something?
Yeah.
No, he's in his 60s.
Oh, okay. Cool. So he's got some life to live. That's awesome. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
My name is Bubba the Love Sponge, and God, I'm late for break.
Oh, you fell for that old gag.
Now get out of here!
Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
No, he's not in his 70s. I don't think he.
Saban was under, and he was a young kid in the Browns.
Yeah, that's true.
52, so about the same age.
Oh, God, I'm not trying to do the math. Let me.
71.
What is it?
71.
He's 71?
Nick
Wow.
Saban, so I was right?
No, Belichick.
Oh.
Dude, well, yeah, no, Nick Saban's 71.
You were right on both.
Oh, sweet. I thought I started 71 when I did that.
Bill Belichick pays double for breakfast.
I thought that was funny.
Bill Belichick in New England, they charge him double. Yeah, you think Mike Tomlin has paid for anything in Pittsburgh in the last 15 years?
He said 72.
Dan Marino's still trying to get free meals.
He said 72.
Oh, he is, yeah. Dan Marino, look, he's a prickly guy. I've seen a lot of videos where he is just angry at people.
Yeah.
Saying no to kids for autographs and shit.
What a dick. Sir Jackie Stewart, the race car driver, still tries to get free meals. He's got to be in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah. All those guys do, man. They just live off their legend.
It's got to be tough to try to get a free meal. Like, hey.
Other people take him out. When we were at the Formula One race in Miami last year, we were at a really nice restaurant, and these three guys that just took Jackie Stewart out to dinner, loaded him up with drinks and food, and he was telling stories, and everyone was happy. He got his free food and his free alcohol. These guys got a night with Jackie. I actually spent a couple hours with him once, years ago, when they were Ford and Jaguar had a car in Formula One, years ago.
Together?
Well, Ford and Jag.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Ford
same,
and Jag.
Okay.
And so at that time, Jag was in Formula One. We went to the U.S. Grand Prix in Indianapolis back when I was there, and Rob Elder had 4 Jag dealerships. So we had VIP. We were in the pits,
that's where you want to be.
And we had like an hour and a half with Jackie Stewart, which is like maybe 7 of us talking to him and hanging out with him. It was a really neat experience.
That's awesome. That's very cool. You don't have you said you went to the race? You went to where? The 500 last year? You went to somewhere in Miami.
No, the Formula One race, the U.S. Grand Prix in Miami.
Okay.
Last 2 years I went.
Okay.
There's a second race in America. There's 3 now. There was Texas, now there's Miami, and now Vegas.
Okay.
The Vegas was kind of a shit show. The Miami experience was beautiful. It's around the stadium. It's gorgeous.
What do they have at not the football stadium? Oh, really?
They built a track around the stadium.
Oh, Jesus! I was gonna. Wow. That's very cool.
It uses the stadium for suites and stuff like that, facing the outside.
That's brilliant. That's very
brilliant. And they have meals and stuff inside the stadium where the club sections were.
Shit, I gotta check that. I gotta see that.
It's really cool how they do it, and the track is paved, sparkly, almost looks like there's diamonds in the cement. It's gorgeous.
How long have they been doing this?
They've had 2 so far. This may be the 3rd one.
I feel like I would see something like that where I would see a shot of it. That was
so nice. And 2 years ago was an incredible race. Last year was a little more of a lead follow, but the first year was an awesome race.
Well, it's kind of like why I like watching the St. Pete Grand Prix. It's not like I'm into I'm just into seeing the city and everything that they do. So that's kind of what I like about those races.
I like the St. Pete Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been to a couple. I just like watching on TV. I like hearing the references to St. Pete. I'm a St. Pete mark.
And it's 3 days. We go down. You should get some kind of access to them.
Oh yeah.
Did you go with us a couple years ago when we went?
No, I haven't been with you guys.
I did.
Yeah, Anna did.
How many Grand Prix are there?
There's a bunch.
Around the nation, right?
It depends. The St. Pete Grand Prix is an Indy race. The U.S. Grand Prix is a Formula One race.
What's the one in Detroit?
That is a Indy race.
Isle or something?
That's an Indy race.
I went to that one. That one sucked too.
What up, Gene?
Our boy Colton Hurt is still doing really well in racing.
Oh, nice. Good.
He was in the 24 Hours of Daytona. He was leading for a minute, and then he made a boo-boo.
Made a boo-boo? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, he got spun out.
Yeah.
He was being too aggressive. The guy behind him was being too aggressive. But
what's the most dangerous form of racing?
The stuff that Bubba does, the open wheel, dirt track, sprint car racing.
Modified.
No, not the modifieds. It's the sprint cars because they have that big tire.
Modified.
They flip a lot. The modified
because they have a wing, so they take flight.
It's not just the wing. The wing doesn't make them fly. The wing makes them go faster in the turns.
Doesn't make.
But when a little tire hits the big tire, it's bad.
Got it.
Oh man.
They flip, and they flip hard.
Yeah, I saw. I've seen.
And the other thing is that in that context, those guys don't really care about each other as much as they would if they were touring and racing together as a team.
very much money.
Yeah. They don't like you because you were in the wrong color or have the wrong accent, and all of a sudden you're in the wall. Gary Control, Xerxes, CC, Sam Perez, Scott Erickson, Mindy, Coach Cooter. Cooter. Jay Gator, Unity 17.
Broadcasting live
Filthy bastard!
from the den of sin. Just leave your morals at the door.
Yeah!
You're listening to
Yeah.
Did you hear from Bubba yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a good sign.
No,
yeah, no news is great news.
But here's the thing: am I getting no news, and everybody else is getting news?
Well, my phone blew up. Did yours, Lummy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dan, I can tell you're lying right now. Seth, what were you gonna say?
I went back and I read some of the Facebook comments yesterday, and Bubba was in there, and he's like, don't take phone calls when you have 4 other talented co-hosts in there. So that was really him, right? Yeah.
All right, then we won't take any phone calls.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just telling you what I'm not telling you not to take calls. I'm just letting you know what I read.
Okay.
You don't need to wear a crutch. You don't need crutches if you can run.
I understand, but I mean, there's like 18 people here on Fridays, and we take phone calls, so.
Run, Forrest.
Okay.
That's Freaky Phone Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's different.
This isn't Tricky Tuesday.
All right, we won't take phone
Well, how about
calls.
this, Anna? If you take a call and it's you know who, I mean, then it's.
All right,
you
how
can't
about
take any
that?
calls.
Okay, how about that? We'll do one call. If it is who it might be, then it's not.
No.
All right, well, let's just take a call. It can't hurt. Hello, who's this?
This is Lance from Alabama.
What's up, Lance from Alabama?
Well, I was going to let you know, Nick Saban's wife, they're reporting that she actually has the early onset of dementia.
Oh, that's
her
sad.
too.
Yes, that's what they're saying. That was the reason, part of the reason that he went ahead and retired.
We hit all the dementia stories yesterday, I thought.
Yeah.
We might
had like 3.
Yeah, Jay Leno's wife.
Yeah, Jay Leno's. There was another one.
Joe Biden.
There was that lady. That lady.
Joe Biden's husband.
Yeah, the early onset, the lady, yeah, who was having mood swings, and turns out she's not a bitch. She just has dementia.
And now Nick Saban's wife.
And now people getting it from experiments back in the 80s.
Yeah, I saw that resurfacing of that.
He was actually playing golf with 50 Cent and Travis Scott yesterday.
What the hell?
Well, that's cool. He's living his best life. He don't need no wife. He's playing with 50 Cent.
He had to be getting paid to do that.
All right, Lance from Alabama. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That went well, short and sweet.
Yeah, Lance can't be happy that Saban's done.
I'm just going to ask Dr. Dan just a medical question, science question. I don't know if he's heard anything about this with dementia, Alzheimer's specifically, but are you familiar with the ApoB? Is that ApoE, excuse me. Is it a gene, or is it, because I feel like it's something that you can test for, and if you have 2 copies of it, like, you are probably going to get Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it's like the BRCA marker for breast cancer.
Okay.
If you got 2 of them, you're done.
Okay, and it's just a gene, right? Okay, that's not good. Not good at all. I did want to discuss this. So this has been kind of circulating in the news, and I was kind of like, I may have put it in a prep or 2 last week, but girlfriend who stabbed boyfriend 108 times in marijuana-induced episode smoked strain with more than 30% THC. So we have a lot of people who know a lot about sports, and I feel like we have a lot of people in this room who might be marijuana aficionados. So I kind of wanted to ask maybe, I don't know, Rhett and Seth, what's the deal? Have you ever smoked some weed and felt like you wanted to stab someone 108 times?
Bitch can't hold her smoke.
She certainly could not.
And that is from a doctor.
I've heard that saying before.
You haven't?
No, but I'm
Weird Science?
I know, but
It's a movie line.
I'm gonna start using it. No, I love the reference. It's not a tookie.
No.
I think it's great.
It was a reference from
Half-Baked or something?
No.
Oh.
It was a movie with God, I can't remember the guy's name. That little goofy guy with the curly hair, but
Rick Moranis?
Weird Science, and they were hanging out with a bunch of African Americans in the bar, and the guy was coughing after he took a big swig, and he's like, "Bitch can't hold a smoke."
Yeah. Well, clearly she couldn't because
Nope.
she killed this guy. Lawyers for the California woman who avoided prison time after fatally stabbing her boyfriend 108 times in a marijuana-induced psychotic episode have revealed that she consumed a strain of the drug with a THC level of more than 30%.
Outlaw it.
Significantly higher than the average dose.
Dan, tell him that weed had nothing to do with this.
Has nothing to do with
Thank
it.
You don't think so? She also
No,
stabbed
God.
herself in the neck, too.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's psychotic,
Okay.
crazy, and weed had nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. You know how hard it is to stab someone 108 times? You know how angry you have
Hold
to
on,
be
we have
at
an
that
expert
person?
here, Brett.
Definitely not an expert, but if she had paranoid tendencies before, then smoking weed like that will definitely
Can
not make
induce
it any
it.
better.
I'll say 30% THC, not to get all nerdy about percentages, but if
Yeah.
you go to the store, the weed store, and you try to get that, they probably don't even have 30%. I mean,
Yeah.
at least around here, it's like in maybe the high 20s, but that's a very high amount of THC.
I mean, that's
the
what
highest,
it said.
The highest I've seen is 28%. They tell you to focus on the terpene content, which is more important, so maybe the terpene content for that was lower if that percentage was so high, but that's just a wacky amount.
Okay, because it says here the THC content, the average levels is usually between 18 and 24. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was what, 30% more effective, 30% more potent?
Yeah.
Wow. Again, has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. And the problem is when you're stabbing someone,
As one does.
I'm writing notes here.
Yeah.
they don't die right away. And that's the problem. If you're really
Well, you
trying
have to
kill
do it 108
someone,
times.
right, because you're really trying to kill someone, you just keep stabbing them because they just don't die. We used to treat belly stabs as just, you'd watch them. You wouldn't even take them to surgery because most of the time you get stabbed in the belly once or twice, nothing happens. Absolutely
What if
nothing
you hit
happens.
an organ?
But so put a little hole in the organ, go in, put a couple stitches in it, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
I had
Yeah.
a lady once that came in and her entire guts were hanging on the side of the stretcher because they
Like her
stabbed her.
intestines?
Yeah, like they stabbed her and she like eviscerated, like her guts just all came out. And so
Did you put them back in?
yeah, I
Okay.
fixed it.
Oh, there you go. What a good, happy ending.
It had a happy ending.
Jeez.
Do you call them sinews? Is that a term?
A sinew is kind of like connective tissue.
Oh,
that
okay.
it's
I
a-
feel
it's
like
a-
I
it's
would
a
read
word
it in
you use a
novels.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a book. It's
I
a
just
book
remember
word, not a
that
medical word.
Like her sinews were coming out of her belly.
Yeah.
Why are they still trying to bury marijuana? I mean, it's pretty much legal all over the place. I feel like this is a story they should have done like
Well, it was in
50
Cali too.
I don't. It seems like there's an agenda.
Yeah, they're going to outlaw 30% weed.
It might have been her sentence that maybe had
What,
her
like
started.
a day and a half probation? It wasn't very long. There's
100
zero prison time.
Yeah, 2 years probation and 100 hours of community service.
Yeah, with
She stabbed
a
the
dead
dog,
man.
too.
A dog?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
stabbed the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
And all she got was community service?
Yeah,
That
she
was
took,
it.
She took one bong hit, she said.
Well, here's the thing, because they said that the guy, his name is Chad O'Malia. I guess this was her boyfriend. Her name was Bryn. I don't know how to say that last name. Spejkar. She was 33. Consumed a marijuana strain with 31.8% THC when she stabbed her boyfriend, Chad, to death in 2018. Apparently, he offered her this. She had only smoked weed maybe like 6 times in her life. She smoked the weed. She smoked weed less than a half dozen times in her life before the fatal stabbing. And
Wait, did she stab herself? What's up with her neck?
yeah, she stabbed him, killed him.
Oh,
She
is that
stabbed
blood?
herself,
Okay.
and apparently the dog as well.
But do you think she stabbed herself or do you think that was struggle?
No,
I
they
don't
said
know.
when the cops
Said she
arrived
stabbed
to try to
herself.
disarm her, she stabbed herself.
Herself
Oh, yeah, she's
43
crazy.
times.
How did she only get 2 months? I mean, that's just like
They
almost.
said it was. He offered her weed. She smoked it, and then she was not of the right mind, and she just went on a stabbing rampage. Like she was not of sound mind, so it wasn't.
Well, she didn't get 2
intentional.
months. She got 2 years probation and 100 hours. You don't get 2 months of any jail.
Is that
That's what I said she got no jail time.
Is that a stretch, Dan, to only get 2 months or to get 2 years of probation?
Kidding me? She got so lucky.
Yeah.
She murdered that guy.
I wonder what her record is, if she even has one. What if someone has no record whatsoever? They're a pristine citizen. They're great. They have no problems with the law. And then something like this happens. I mean, you don't think it could possibly be she had some sort of bad interaction with the marijuana that made her go crazy and stab this guy?
She needs a Kennedy operation.
Oh, lobotomy.
Yeah, make her safe
Rosemary.
for society. Yeah, Rosie.
Poor Rosemary.
Rosie Kennedy, her.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I think so. She committed murder, and she stabbed a dog. Just for the dog, she should be lobotomized.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Should have done that to Michael Vick.
That came with a responsibility with that information. Outside the courthouse, Amelia's father, Sean, said the system completely failed his son. After being convicted by a jury of involuntary manslaughter, Spechler received 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service, and no prison time. So
that's what
pretty
happens.
lucky lady.
That's what happens if you do like a DUI manslaughter. It's the same kind of charge. And most people get like 6 to 8 years in prison for that. So she's really, really lucky.
Really lucky. Not as lucky as OJ, but pretty lucky. Pretty
really?
good.
You think OJ was pretty lucky?
That he didn't go to prison for killing 2 people?
No, they didn't prove it.
Right.
They cheated.
Yeah, but I mean, like, most people think he did it. So... But he got away with it.
He did eventually, go to jail for the stealing.
That was
and
a different
stuff.
crime.
No, I know, but I think that he got a hard sentence.
Society kind of justified that harder sentence.
Yeah.
Because of the first problem.
Right, and it was also just like a weird time where there were a lot of racial issues in the LAPD, and it was just kind of like this perfect storm where he committed the crime at the quote right time
in the wrong place.
And he got away with it. So. Good for him.
I can't believe, though, they put him in jail for so long for taking his own stuff back.
Oh, because
OJ?
Did someone steal a bunch of memorabilia and he took it back? Was this in Vegas or something?
Yeah, but someone had a gun and it amplified the charges.
He had the gun, didn't he?
His buddy had it.
Yeah, I think somebody else had it. Yeah. I think
so he burglarized someone else's
it was like
house
a sting.
or
It was like a sting. They found the guy that had the stuff. They set up a meeting and then he tried to take it back.
Oh, and then he went to prison for like 8 years for that.
Yeah.
Glorious Act 25 on the Cash App. I sent you. It's weird talking about OJ. It came up on my Twitter yesterday. This just makes me feel like OJ
is awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Is this a Twitter?
Yeah, well, it's like a little news story from back in the day.
Oh, hold on.
Let's just show up on your Twitter.
I've never personally shaken hands with a murderer. Good to see you.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you. Doesn't that hurt? Doesn't that hurt your feelings? No. After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke, and this is it.
Well, at least he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, but doesn't that just make him look like he's that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, didn't he write a book that said like if
I did it,
oh, this is how I would have done it or something like that?
To this day, he's scared to travel back out there because he might run into whoever did it.
He can't defend himself,
Yeah. They haven't found the guy.
Dude,
I mean, he's still on the loose.
That's a cold man. I've never heard that clip before. I've never shaken hands with a murderer before.
I know. Followed by the psycho stabbing.
Nice to meet you.
Oh man.
Good for OJ.
Does that hurt your feelings? No, it's a compliment.
Yeah, who cares? He's out free, man. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to him. I think he lives in St. Peter. He did. I know his daughter does.
Yeah,
her name's Sydney, right?
Yeah, I think so. I believe he's out in Vegas still.
I think in Miami too. I think.
I have like a weird connection, not with the daughter, but so a good friend of mine dated. Do you know who? Oh, he ran for mayor, Rob something, and he dated Sydney Simpson. So it's just weird. I don't know. Weird connection there.
Is she fast?
No, she's actually kind of gross.
Oh,
really?
no.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
He ran for St. Pete. I heard he's kind of a D-bag, but again, that's what I heard. Go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Was it Nicole Kidman's daughter?
Yes. Okay. Nicole Simpson.
Nicole Simpson.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Is the guy you're talking about a City Council? I don't know what happened. City Council member?
I don't know, but I think he ran for mayor and he was kind of friends with Anna Paulina Luna.
Kind of a youngish guy.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
all right.
yeah, that guy. I forgot what is it. Maybe
Robert
it's Black?
Blackman?
Okay, yeah, Blackman. There it is. Yeah, him. He used to date, didn't he? Whatever. Presumed suicide ride car almost hit pedestrian before driving off Virginia Beach Pier. I don't know if you guys saw this video. It's pretty crazy. I don't want to play the sound for this because I think there is some swearing in it. But have you guys seen this video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They talk about the driving off this bridge, and they say how it hits the brakes at the last second.
Yeah.
That's why they weren't sure if it was a suicide.
And there was, in fact, someone, obviously in the car if someone's hitting the brakes. But yeah, it just goes over the pier like that. And apparently it almost hit a pedestrian.
So
it looks like they were hitting the brakes a few times.
Yeah. It was. So, Dan, a lot of people were saying that they were riding their brakes. So they were saying that the person might have like blacked out. They were saying that the person might have been forced to drive off the bridge. They were saying it could be suicide. And they were having second thoughts because that's a common
maybe they were trying not to hit the pedestrians.
I don't know what it
You know?
is. I have no idea. I just didn't
Did
know
the
if
person die?
Yeah, that person died in the car.
They haven't identified who it was, right?
No. But I mean, I had to plow
I think here's
through.
another angle for you.
It was Amelia Earhart.
They did maybe possibly find her plane.
Yeah, I did see something like that. I feel like that.
5,000 feet of water.
I see something like
Meters.
that almost like quarterly where they talk about her trying to bring her back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Bermuda Triangle deal? Is that what they're trying to claim there?
No, it's in Fiji.
Oh, it's completely out of the
Yeah, but it's
Bermuda
in
Triangle.
5,000 meters of water, which is, I think, like the Titanic depth.
No, it's a little less than that. They said they could possibly get to it.
Yeah, the submersible I think imploded at like 3,800 meters down. I saw a what do you call it? Like not a recreation, kind of like a animation, I guess, of like
someone
what
stomping on a
happened. No, of like what exactly happened, and it was something I forget how many nanoseconds it happened in, but like your brain can only process pain within like 15 nanoseconds, and that happened in like 13. So like they had no clue what was going on, and then they were just absolutely eviscerated. Let's see if this shows us anything interesting.
I think that's just showing what they plowed through.
Okay.
Which was a lot.
There was a different video from a different vantage point, but I can't find it right now. But anyways, not good news.
Dude, what a horror. I mean, that's not
drive over the edge of an East Coast seemed determined to end his or her life. So they still haven't identified who it is, I guess.
That just seems like
last night.
the worst way to do it. But
What, like a slow fall into the water followed by drowning?
like a drive. I'm going to drive. I'm
Yeah.
going to plow through all this. I'm going to ride the brakes. Then I'm going to drive off the side. Then I'm going to drown. Like, I don't know.
What do you think is the best way to do it?
Something quick and painless.
Submersible. Going to see the Titanic.
Yeah, really.
You can die
That's probably, yeah.
in 13 nanoseconds?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. You have no chance of feeling pain. I mean, that's the best idea.
Yeah, but also like
Explode
the
me.
hours before where you're just lost at sea and your PlayStation controller doesn't work anymore. I feel like that would be kind of anxiety inducing.
They weren't hours before. They
thought it was
blew
a
up
few
as soon
hours.
as they lost the contact. They were already done. That
I
thing was in there
understand.
for maybe an hour.
Yeah, I thought that they lost contact for a few hours before they imploded, but I don't know.
It was
Okay.
As soon as they imploded, they lost contact.
Okay. All right. That's great. But yeah, so this happened. I feel like the best. Well, at least I don't want to give it to this person for like having a. I don't want to say a gentlemanly suicide, but at least they didn't block traffic. You know what I mean? Like that.
Like jumping off the skyway?
Yeah, like something like that where
Yeah,
you
but what about
back it
the
up for
fishermen?
8 hours.
The fishermen couldn't fish.
And now they're closed the pier probably to fix it.
Right,
and-
exactly.
I mean,
Oh, I'm
all
sorry.
those
I didn't
flounder
think
that
about
didn't
the
get caught.
fisherman. I'm sorry, Lummy. I know that you're
Tuna.
kind of like a low-key fisher. I apologize for that,
I mean,
okay?
even Dr. Dan is thinking about those
I
guys.
wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about the fishermen or the fish or the ecosystem or anything like
It
that,
may
so I do
mess
apologize.
up the ocean floor and screw up the waves coming off
Oh,
the pier.
no, wouldn't
That's
want to do
right.
that.
So
You're
surfers
right.
are screwed.
You're right, but at least you're not backed up in traffic for like 8 hours, because that happens periodically where people, stand on a bridge, and oftentimes they don't even really do it, right? I feel like it's just like a cry for attention.
Well, I mean, that's what when I was reading about suicide, which was really great reading on Sunday morning. God, I wish they would have some sort of minor league football on Sunday, so I don't have to read about suicide. But
Right.
I mean, it's from what like I said, they were tapping the brakes, so I started doing reading, and they were saying a lot of people obviously have second thoughts. It's everybody does when they're about to do that. So I don't know
Yeah.
what'll stop you from actually going through with it, but it's a common thing.
Yeah, sad times. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back after this.
I have a question. Okay. Did they just pull a big job on the system? This is nice. Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
Ricky Bookie Jones.
What's up, man, Atlanta? Sister Gold Tees, good morning.
Less.
Thank you. Short stroker, high was 69.
Morning, Felix.
Low bug.
Cooper Lips, Nessux's Lair.
Jay Gator.
Everyone wants to watch the race tonight. You can get on Flow Racing and see the
Woohoo!
at the Bubba Raceway Park. Looks like coverage starts at 5:15. What's up, Bama boy?
Jay Gator.
But to him, how would you think he'd be on one of those modifieds?
Oh, I mean, it would be fun.
Take you a little bit of time.
Huh?
It'd take you a little bit of time.
Yeah, those guys been driving for years.
No, but I'm saying like if you just if you went around, you could pretty much get the speed.
I can get the speed. I just wouldn't be competitive.
I'm not saying race it. I'm just saying like
Yeah, I can get up to speed, make it slide, do all that stuff. Yeah, I could do that. It would just look like the race was going at 85%. You know what I mean? My 100% would be like their 80%.
But you can slide it and everything.
Mm-hmm. I've done it before.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What's up, Bama boy? Thank you, disabled account. On Flow, it says Bubba Raceway Park. So, it's the last people I've seen Bubba Raceway Park.
Oh my god.
What? Oh, football. Or
Oh no, they just showed they got these guys. You see this, Lemmy?
Yeah.
The swimmers running there when they're shooting free throws to try to distract them. Holy shit!
Remember that Duke guy a while back? He was behind it. And he took his shirt off and started doing like the swim move when the guy was.
I remember that, and there was like it was like Arizona or New Mexico or somebody used to like have a whole section where they would like run back and they would like do insane shit. But I've never seen like having the swimmers run out is. I mean, I couldn't even take that seriously. I'd start cracking up.
I think the Duke guy actually did. I think he did. I think the guy missed the free throw. It
I
was
mean,
funny because he started doing like when they were getting ready to go, and then he was like swimming. Oops,
man, there's not another. I don't think there's another sport where you can single-handedly rattle somebody like that, where the fans can like have a chance to rattle somebody.
Where?
When they're shooting free throws.
Oh.
They just showed a college, and when girls would go to shoot the free throws, they had the guy swimmers run out in their speedos and like with no shirts on to distract the people while they're shooting free throws. So I just, I think that would mess with my head.
Yeah.
Look at all those hot dudes.
Oh yeah, this one. It was a Speedo guy. And the guy missed it against UNC.
Man, and then I saw Remember the guy that had like the N-word as his last name?
What?
Yeah.
Is he a basketball player?
What's that?
Didn't someone just like interview him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Robert Griffin III.
That's who it was. Yeah.
He's a basketball player. I think he's high school.
I think he is.
What? But a guy walked in. I think he used to work at Barstool. He did a jersey exchange with the kid.
Oh dear.
He gave the kid his LeBron jersey.
Was it that Caleb Presley guy?
No, it was somebody that doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, because he got fired for it.
Yeah. I think his name's Mantis. I don't know their whole crew or anything, but
Caleb Presley is actually really fucking
no, he is.
Yeah, boy, good morning.
It's not easy to develop like a character that people understand and that he interviews. They all pretty much get it.
Kind of like Norm MacDonald kind
In Bubba, we trust. In Bubba, you lust.
Naughty, naughty.
This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Hello. Welcome back. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, and make that clear. Drive that point home. Bubba will be back next week. We're doing a live show. We got the full crew here, minus Bubba, of course. 813-90 Bubba. We have a few calls. I don't know if we'll take them.
Don't be scared.
Well, just don't.
You just told me to not take them. And now you're like, don't be scared to take them. I'm not scared to take them. I just don't want to get, I just don't want to get yelled at.
Just don't take line 2 if you take them.
All right. Okay, cool.
There you go. That's
All
a
right.
good tip.
Nice. I like that. Thank you, Lummy. I appreciate the intel. Appreciate it very much. Cash App and PayPal, please, God. I almost said the number again. But yeah, please send money at the Bubba Army. Would very much appreciate it that we can keep the operation just afloat. I'm not saying we need to make all the bank, although that would be very much appreciated. And maybe I'll give you one of these. So, yeah, just if you could just send a little bit of money, that'd be great. That would make the boss man very, very happy and let him feel secure that the team can hold it down in his absence. So thank you very much. We'll just do this one quick call very quickly. Hello, who's this?
And if you're in Ocala, stop by for tonight's race.
Yes.
5:15, or watch it on Flow Racing.
Yes. Nashville's in full effect, so tell the boys I said hi. Well, what's up?
Oh, this is Super Red
What's up, Super Fat?
Oh, hey, I was going to tell you, I know Bubba said that the vacuum broke down on him, but I was going to order another one next month, but the new one's got a mop head attachment, so it'll clean the wet the bathroom floors.
All the Scout pee-pee, too. That's great.
And then I wasn't sure if you guys seen this documentary that Netflix put out last week. It's called American Nightmare.
I heard about it. You recommend it?
Sounds uplifting.
Yes,
I like it.
Oh no, it was really good. This guy calls the police because his girlfriend got kidnapped, and they think that he killed her. And each episode's an hour long. It's 3 episodes.
Okay.
And so the whole first episode is them interrogating him, trying to confess to a murder that he didn't do. And then the second episode is the girlfriend reappears, and then the third episode is them thinking it was a hoax and she was never kidnapped, never raped, or anything.
Right.
And then the last episode is like, then you find the whole truth about everything.
Now we don't have to watch it.
I know. Just got the cliff notes. Appreciate it. Thank you for summing it up. You just saved us 3 hours of time.
No, it was really, really good. And then, well, I'll just see if I get the address for Lummy. I'll just mail the vacuum to him.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Super Fat. We really appreciate that. We all love the Dyson, but I think Bubba loves it the most.
Is this one of those really expensive vacuums?
Oh my God, yeah.
You haven't seen the one we have here, Seth?
I feel like I know Bubba collects old vacuums. I mean, I know when I first started here, he has like 6 vacuums from
You
the
still
night.
do.
Yeah.
But this is the one and only. You got to take it for a spin, maybe. Maybe between breaks. Take it for
really
a spin.
nice.
I'm gonna wait for the new one to get here. I really want to handle the newest model that they have here. So
thank you, Superfat. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. And then that one should still be under warranty because they got 2-year warranty. The one so you can probably send it to them and have them fix it. And then that was $1,000, and then the new one I'm sending to is $1,000.
Holy
Jesus
moly!
Thank you. You were missed during BARP. Many people were asking about you.
More than Brian.
Oh yeah,
yeah, more than Brian.
Because of the high winds, they had to shut down, so I was stuck for like a day and a half, and then I missed my flight.
Yeah.
And then of course I ended up working, and then I almost ran over some dumbass laying in the middle of the road over that Monday night.
A protester or someone that was just passed out drunk?
No, the guy was trying to rob a gas station. The owner caught him, and the owner was waiting for the cops to show up, and I think the guy was just being a baby laying in the road for the cops to show up and arrest him. And it's the middle of the night, and there was no lights at all. I came about 2 feet from running over with my 18-wheeler.
That's not good. Let me ask you this: when you get on a flight, do you get an extra seat? No.
Southwest offers that deal.
A0 or something.
The X deal.
Yeah, X0 deal.
I was gonna do that, but then they wanted almost $700 to pick my own seat. So I said, well, I might as well spend the extra $300 and buy a first class ticket. So
Ooh, okay.
I still got the credit for that.
Okay.
What a baller, man.
Look at you go.
Getting vacuums and first class tickets
for $1,000.
Woo. Love the Bubba Army.
All right. Thank you so much, Superfat. Appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good day.
All right, bye. This is something that I woke up to because I went to bed so early that this was not. This did not hit. Yeah, in the prep did not hit Drudge until I guess a little bit later, and then I woke up and I'm like, oh damn, we got to talk about this because it seems awesome yet terrifying. First, human has received Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip implant, with terrified fans warning first cyborg is born. I'd like to meet the person who opted to have this first one-of-a-kind procedure done. What kind of is bizarre about Elon Musk, and I don't know if you ever saw him on Rogan when he kind of has a bit more free-form way of speaking. But
the time he was getting high or another time?
It was one of those times.
Okay.
I think it was the time he was getting high.
I think he got high on every time he was on Rogan.
Well, the first time that went with the memes went viral and stuff like that. But I think that when I remember Elon Musk saying that he was like terrified of where technology is going. Like he was really what's the word I'm looking for? Like there was a doom and gloom sense to him that some bad things were going to happen, but it seems like he's the one spearheading it. So it seems a little bit, I don't know, bizarre that he's terrified of it, but he's also the one kind of creating this new type of technology. So here's a little bit of video. I don't know exactly what the audio is going to do here, but we'll try to play it.
Connecting with your loved ones, browsing the web, or even playing games using only your thoughts. This is made possible by placing a small, cosmetically invisible implant in a part of your brain that plans movements. The device is designed to interpret your neural activity so you can operate a computer or a smartphone by simply thinking about moving. No wires or physical movement are required. By participating in the PRIME study, you'd be helping to redefine the boundaries of human capability.
I like human capabilities the way they are.
Yeah.
I'm good with pressing buttons, man.
Me too.
Yeah, but think about a fighter pilot. Wouldn't that be ideal if you're a fighter pilot that you don't have to do anything but just look at what you need to look at? It's ideal.
Sure. I mean, I can see certainly some benefits to having this sort of technology, but do you think it'll kind of get away from us? I don't know. This sort of stuff kind of freaks me out because I feel like
this is not controlling you. This is you controlling something else.
So do you
understand the distinction?
Yeah, I understand that.
They're not implanting thoughts into your brain. They're interpreting what your brain is trying to do, and interpreting that. I mean, transitioning that into a movement. So it's kind of like when someone has an arm prosthesis or a hand prosthesis, and they've figured out how to have the brain control the fingers.
I fully understand that. What I'm saying is that don't you think that this is kind of like runaway technology where, at first you're controlling things, but at some point, don't you think these things will be controlling us if you're allowing them to be implanted in the brain?
I think we're 50 years from that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Who do you think could benefit from this the most, Dan? Do you think it's like the military and fighter pilots and stuff? Like, not just a regular guy needs this. I mean,
two people, military and people with spinal cord injuries.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be super sweet for them.
You know
ALS
what I mean?
and stuff.
Yeah,
Or like,
people with lower
paralyzed.
extremity or upper extremity weakness. With extremity weakness, they can't type, can't move their hands.
I didn't think about that. It could be beneficial, not just like taking over the world.
Beneficial. Yeah. This isn't taking over the world. This is us controlling things with our brains instead of just with our hands.
And it's new, so people are like freaked out about it. You know, I mean, I remember when people were freaking out about like QR codes and stuff, and now it's just kind of like the part of daily living, I suppose. First human has received an implant from Neuralink yesterday, and it is recovering well, Musk wrote on Monday on X. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection. The Tesla boss followed the huge news by explaining how the technology works. He said that the first Neuralink product is called telepathy, which would make sense. So I don't know. There's lots of aspects that make me feel very uneasy when it comes to technology because I understand that it's trying to get everybody more connected and make things more convenient, but I feel like that's really the death of society is this convenience Amazon Prime culture where no one wants to work hard, no one wants to actually make change and do anything that is, I don't know, builds character because they can just take a pill for it. No?
I don't know. I feel like Dan is right, and I didn't think about this. You think about taking over the world, but I think Dan's right. If you look at this from like a perspective of it helping the military or helping people that can't move or things like that's awesome. I don't know if that was the intention behind it. I also don't know if they're ever going to reveal who this first person is that's getting tested. I don't know if the world found out. I don't know what would happen if they would start, going outside this person's house. But I don't know how you sign up to be the first person to test it either.
Yeah, it enables control of your phone or computer and through them almost any device just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost the use of their limbs. Okay, so this is a dude who wasn't going to be, walking anyway. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or an auctioneer. That is the goal. So I don't know. I can see how this kind of can run away from you a little bit when the intention is good. I feel like the intention is always good, but sometimes it can be used for evil.
I don't know. This sounds tricky though. If just regular people have them, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, you're thinking about porno, and then porno starts popping up on your phone, and you're in a meeting, and you can't control it. Like, things can get out of hand. But I like if they just stick to people that are missing limbs right now.
See, I'm kind of cool, like with what Dr. Dan was saying. If you're using this to control other things, but my fear is that soon those things will be controlling you, and then maybe people start crossing the board, and they're like, okay, we just need to do a little bit of a little physical procedure here, and then they plant something in your brain, and then you're, I don't know, voting a certain way, talking a certain way, doing certain things, and I don't know.
This was developed to control the migrants.
Yes. I don't know. I'm just throwing everything at the wall.
Yeah, just start walking south.
That's what happens. I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
Follow
this sort
the
of
birds.
stuff, I always think of, listen, my favorite game to play is worst case scenario, okay? That's usually where my mind goes is like, what's the worst possible thing that can happen? And that's usually nothing good. So I feel like you play that game too with anxiety, right?
Yeah. Luckily the medicine that I'm on kind of helps me not play that game so much throughout the day. But I always, whenever I'm weighing things out, whether it's content or whether it's life decisions, I always go to worst case scenario first.
And then work backwards?
Yeah, work up
Same.
from there. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a game that I play, things I think about on the usual, just because, I feel like you got to, sometimes if you can face the worst thing that's happening to you, and then you're like, okay, I could deal with that, then everything else seems like you can get through it. But I'm glad your new medication is working for you.
Thank you.
Did you ever share what it was so that maybe other people can jump on board? And
Oh, yeah. I'm on Lexapro and Wellbutrin with a side of Xanax.
Cute.
Which I've cut back on.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
you're feeling good day to day, and it's working for you?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't really feel good day to day, but I don't feel the need to go get Xanax. So, I mean,
Right.
things must be going okay.
Do you ever wonder, like, what I don't, quote unquote, normal people feel like? Because I think about that often. I'm like, I wonder what what a normal person would do in this situation and how they would feel or approach it.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also feel like everybody's got their issues, and some people are just more upfront with it.
Yeah.
But I think everybody kind of deals with some stuff.
Yeah, because I've pretty bad OCD and have my whole life. And sometimes when I'm trying to, not do the typical rituals or have the obsessive thoughts, I just try to think, like, what would a normal person do? Like, just pretend you're a normal person for once and try to, like, live your life that way for the next few hours.
That makes things worse for me.
Yeah, no, it never
Okay,
works.
just wanted to make sure.
I sent you a movie trailer that Macho said is relevant to this topic on the AI.
Let's see here.
Toss like a boss with new Arm & Hammer Power Sheets.
Oh, no, that's not what I want.
M&S is becoming cheaper than Aldi, and I saved so much money by
That's not what I
shopping
want
here. So
either.
let me take you through my food shop today so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Okay. We're going to get it. Stand by.
For you, someone who liked to get things done with their hands.
Here's the thing. 4 guys murdered my...
It's called, what is this movie?
Upgrade?
It's called Up. Oh,
I
it's
don't know
called
if Macho
Upgrade.
wants to explain it or not, but
Macho, your mic is on, and if you want to.
The guy gets an AI chip put in him to help him because he's paralyzed, and then
Okay.
the AI chip takes him over.
Oh, see, this is my worst fear.
If I could find those men, I'd do it.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Oh, man, this is freaky.
Have you seen this, Macho? The actual movie?
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Hear you? No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newcraft. We'll need a plan.
I got this.
Does this guy become like a Manchurian candidate kind of thing? Like an
Ninja.
assassin? Okay, ninja.
Doesn't
Sweet.
seem like a well thought out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Oh! Okay, Macho, you lost me. All right, this was cool. 20 seconds ago. Just bitch slap someone with a plate,
Is
dude.
this a comedy? This takes a turn.
I like it.
I'd take an AI chip if I could do that.
How high were you?
Permission to take over your body.
Yeah,
Granted.
granted. Then it takes him over at the end, yeah.
Stay down, man. Stanley's got a knife!
I think that's make the knife too.
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
You now have full control again, Gray.
Thank you.
Okay.
Little dystonia.
If you are involved in this somehow, then you need to let me know.
Well, I was in the area, detective.
There's a gun implanted inside his hand.
Stan, what do you think I should...
I don't know about this.
Oh, man.
Man, you are persistent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it can't be worse than what is that one movie that
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, what was it called? Unhinged. Did you guys watch that? Because it was absolutely horrible.
Was it really that bad?
I thought
Yeah,
it was one
bad.
of the
It was
best
cheesy.
movies.
It was.
Come on,
super
Russell
cheesy.
Crowe doesn't do bad
He
movies.
doesn't. So
yeah. He doesn't do good ones.
They don't understand Russell
Yeah,
Crowe.
Gladiator was cool,
Gladiator made him untouchable forever.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
To me,
Sort
he
of.
did, yeah.
No, it wasn't good. It was super cheeseball. I mean, so he gets like stabbed in the middle of a diner and nobody does anything. It's really cheeseball.
I mean, that would happen in real society.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Let's dance there. I mean, we're going to let the person
That's
bleed
true.
out.
That is true.
Mind your own business.
I did want to kind of discuss this, and I don't know if I don't think it'll offend anybody in this room, but maybe you can kind of speak on behalf of the Christians, Lummy, and on behalf of the Catholics, Dr. Dan. Effeminate Christ poster angers Spanish conservatives. So, I don't know. People have their own ways of interpreting what Christ looked like. He probably didn't have, fair, pale porcelain skin like this. And, people think that they've kind of femmed him out a little bit, and this is upsetting some people.
I'm sorry, they femmed out Jesus?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I think it's it was just, I guess, a poster of Christ to promote Easter week in Seville has drawn sharp backlash from Spanish ultra-conservatives who denounce it as effeminate and offensive to Roman Catholics.
Well, he's half naked, and it's like he's wearing like a makeshift skirt.
Isn't that what he was wearing on the crucifix? Like
No,
no,
he wasn't wearing a skirt.
Well, I'm not saying a skirt, but I feel like he wasn't wearing a lot of clothes, right?
It was a torn loincloth. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of a skirt, isn't it?
It was just covering his private, supposedly.
Right.
Supposedly. Now, this is the depiction of obviously other people.
So I don't know if this offends anybody, if this makes anybody feel uncomfortable. Have they like kind of sexualized Christ a little bit?
Just a little.
Yeah.
You mean here, just in general?
Just in general.
I'm saying
I feel
that
like.
picture looks like he's got lipstick, a nice beard.
Now, when you see Christ on the cross, that's a Catholic deal, right? But then just the Christ or the cross bear is just the Christian thing, right? Is that right?
Like in a necklace?
Yeah, or just
Yes.
or any sort of
But
imagery.
Actually, if you go to a church, if you go to a Christian non-Catholic church, the cross behind the altar usually does not have Jesus on it. And if you go to a Catholic church, the cross behind the altar usually does have Jesus on it.
Yeah. I remember the first time that I saw that as a little Jewish girl, I was like, wow, this is pretty grotesque.
You guys did that.
I didn't do that. The Romans did that, you Italian mother.
We heard that a lot growing up.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh,
me too.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
You guys heard that a lot?
Yeah.
But we didn't.
That was
We
the number one thing I heard was that we killed Jesus, and
The
I never.
Italians did, the Romans.
Yeah, I did. Was like,
Isn't that crazy?
I was like, I didn't do it, man. Stop blaming
Well, I
me.
mean, technically did the Romans. I guess they did.
The Romans did, and then
even though they went to the Jewish people and asked if they wanted to save them, and they were like, "No, crucify him, get rid of him."
Okay, right, but the Romans did it, and then what? Like 1,000 years later, it turns out the center of Catholicism, Christianity, is in Rome, which I thought to be a bizarre twist of fate, but it is what it is. So yeah. Anyways, we'll be back right after this.
The pain, games, and mind fucks will continue. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
Lipstick.
The lips are. It could be, artists are. It could be like a blood thing. I don't know. It could mean something.
I want an obese Jesus.
Obese Jesus. Well, there's people that look. I don't know. I know there's like people that say Jesus was black.
Yeah. Listen, you can't walk in, desert for
And not be tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. We're gonna have a little.
Everything in his stores he's always outside.
That's true. That's a good point. They weren't, didn't have any mansions they're hanging on. What's up, Mr. Kostika? Kostika.
All right, you gotta have one it up on the next gen up.
Oh. LM Close, good meeting you when you came down. Oh, that's not good, Snizlook. That's not good at all. We'll see if I can change that, if I can reverse course. I got YouTube, I got Rumble, baby. What up, Grouper Lips? Grouper, I was thinking about you last night because there was a basketball game I wanted to watch, and then I was like, oh, how do I watch this? And I realized that you DM'd me, and I realized that I still haven't checked it yet. But I did think about you. That's gotta mean something. What up, sister girl? LM Closure, the man. Sorry about the Eagles. I told you they were gonna win. You knew the truth, though.
Morning, Mr. Mark. Great referee, Fred. What's up? LM Close.
Remember, people hated Costanza on the show. Maybe they like him, as a character. Hopefully I just aged to look like Larry David. Felix Cat said good morning, Anna.
Oh, what's up, Felix?
Glow Bug. No, yeah, you told me. You told me, LM. I was convinced the Bucks weren't that good, which I don't think they were, but I didn't know the Eagles were really on a crash course. Or, yeah, I don't know. You called it. You guys knew. Brian from Philly knew, too. I don't know. Nick Sirianni didn't know. What up, Fish on Jay? Appreciate the Twitter support. I saw people were digging the ring last night in Oviedo, was it?
Huh? Belvita?
Oviedo. I think they're Orlando. What up, fan in Orlando? All right, this is the last message I'm delivering to Anna. Sister Girl T said you're doing an awesome job. Love you.
Oh, thank you, Tease.
What up, Ned's left testy?
I don't know if I could trust Tease because she would say that about me no matter what.
Take it.
I will.
What up, to Knock Doc, Permagrom, Spencer. Okay, hold on, I got YouTube kicking. Jay Bowler, what up? Oh, Vandalay Industries. That's what we used to actually call my brother Kramer growing up. My dad did.
Why? Because how he would enter a room?
I don't know, dude. I just did it. I don't know. What up, Timothy? Thanks, man. Trying to keep it light and fluffy. Vandalay Industries is, I think still could live on today.
Oh, I see people with that shirt sometimes.
Vandalay Industries?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the other one from Tommy Boy? Is that Callahan?
Man, someone referenced Tommy Boy the other day, and I wasn't on top of it, and they got mad at me.
Probably my favorite movie ever.
Tommy Boy reference.
Callahan?
Yeah. Tommy Callahan.
Yeah.
What up, Pedro? Brian, they don't have any 30% at the dispensaries down here. I haven't seen. Yeah, no, I've looked.
SOS Rick said he gets 31% from True Leaf.
Really? That's where I go.
Yeah, he said.
If they have it, it's probably something that sells out pretty quickly.
It's called Solomon Grundy Minis, 3.5 gram.
Interesting.
31% THC.
Interesting. Oh, Dunder Mifflin. I'm glad Phoebe kind of got me into The Office. I don't love it, but it's funny sometimes. I lost my Rumble screen.
Brake pads, temperature.
My Rumble. What up, Jay Gator? I lost the Rumble. Here it is. I'm back. I have not heard of that, Pippi. You've been vaping all day. You're the man, Tempetary. What is it, Pippi? We're not allowed to grow weed, I think. Certain
They're like a bunch of sharks circling in the water, searching for blood or any sign of weakness, and are ready to strike. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Hello. Welcome back. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. No Bubba today. But Cash App and PayPal is wide open. So get in there at the Bubba Army. Let's finish out January strong. Please and thank you. Very much appreciate it. All right, I think I have a new idea about how we could get some more money around here. Seems like, yes.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. I think that maybe, I know we do have an OnlyFans. I'm not quite sure how active it is. I don't really have anything to do with it. Is the Brandon video? It's up there?
Yes.
Okay, great, awesome. Yeah, definitely check that out. That is certainly the most entertaining thing I've ever seen on any. Not that I watch OnlyFans all that much, but I've seen pornographic stuff before. But that certainly is the best I've ever seen.
So that's what you can be doing this Sunday.
The Brandon the Quad video?
Yeah, you were looking for minor league football, but now you got Brandon the Quad video.
The new one is up there with that he just.
I believe Rhett just said it was.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch cornhole.
It's actually.
I may have to double check, but I was under the impression it was. Sorry.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, since Bubba's not here for Clement Cush, Brent's coming in, so I'm going to talk to him. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Kind of break that down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
play by play.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know. I mean, if he was filming, he edits it. I mean, I don't know how it all started. I mean, I wasn't here for it, and I'm fascinated by it. So
just by that particular video, or just in general, the lifestyle that comes along with.
I'm more so that video, but I mean, I am interested in Brent's transition, kind of out of radio. You know, I think that it's clearly something that I don't think he wants to do anymore.
Into video producing.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be able to make a living for yourself outside of what you've been doing for your whole life is impressive no matter what it is. So and Brent was always my favorite on the show going back in the day. So it'll be cool to sit down and talk to him.
Right, throw ideas around. Maybe you could get your own OnlyFans.
I'm not opposed to it.
I don't want to say like pimp Phoebe out, but maybe a little bit. Maybe she's into that sort of stuff. But here's a way that we could do that collectively as a group here at the BRN. Foot fetishism goes mainstream with fans paying up to $45,000 for pics. See how much yours could be worth. So, yeah, I saw this and I was like, let's see what's going on here. Apparently, there's different types of feet, obviously, but like in categories. So, of course, I was curious as to know if I could make any money with my feet, but I think I just got regular old feet. I have Egyptian feet, which sound cool, but I feel like everybody has Egyptian feet.
What does that mean?
What makes it Egyptian?
It says your first toe noticeably larger. It's just like a normal ass foot.
What's the $45,000 foot?
Anything that's not the Egyptian foot, apparently, is what I learned. If you just got regular old Egyptian feet, again, which sounds cool. I'm like, wow, I got like ancient Egyptian feet. But if, like, for example, if you have a peasant foot, your 3 largest toes are equal. That's a thing that people like to see.
That's a peasant?
Yes, peasant feet. Or the three first toes are the same length, I suppose. Square, all 5 toes are of equal length.
Ew.
I don't think I've ever seen that. And like Dan said, that doesn't sound too appealing.
No.
Greek foot, second toe longer than the rest.
That's actually a sign of athleticism, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How is that? Like with balance?
Football players, most football players that are pros have that second toe's longer. I know. There's some people that wouldn't draft a guy if his second toe wasn't longer.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of benefits does that offer?
I don't know. More stability, faster. Who knows?
Okay. And then we have, what does this say? Stretched? I can't really read
those
it.
are like spread toes. That's disgusting too.
All toes abnormally spread apart. I don't think that that's appealing, but some people pay for it just, I guess, because it's rare.
Dan, do you know why, and not to get inside the head of a pervert, but, being a medical professional, do you know why people like feet?
No, I still haven't figured that one out. I haven't figured it out.
I can't read that word. Can you guys see that word?
Spell it.
Ecuadorian? I have no idea.
There's an R.
Yeah, I can't read the
font.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm taking my vision test and it's the bottom row. I have no idea.
Whatever. We'll go past that one.
That's Egyptian. The next one.
Yeah, the Egyptian is the next one, and then the last one is. I can't read it. I read it yesterday, but I can't. Where all the bigger toes lean inwards. Anyways, basically, if you have anything but Egyptian feet, you have bunions.
So
exactly.
Greek foot's the good foot.
I guess so. It's just anything that are a bit unique, I think, is what they're saying. It says, in this era, anything goes. Anyone can wiggle their footsies and bring in a bit of cash. But if you were fortunate enough to possess it said Roman. That's what the word was. Roman or Greek-style feet, you're passing up the opportunity to earn some serious dough.
Which one was Roman?
The one I couldn't read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one right here where it says first 3 toes equal and last 2 toes equal.
Oh.
If that's a thing. What kind of feet do you guys have? Do you even know? Do you have to actually look at your foot, or have you memorized your foot like me? I memorized my foot.
I used to have Greek, now I got turf toe, so.
Turf toe. I don't know where that falls into, but.
Oh, the turf toe is an injury.
Yeah.
Forever? Like you have it forever, Lummy, or does it go away?
I don't know. It's Dr. Dan. I mean, Dion got his thing surgery-wise, but I think I bought some spreaders. Does that work, Dr. Dan?
It can help.
But am I screwed on my turf toe?
Yeah.
Okay. Are spreaders?
I think I got Egyptian feet.
Oh, yeah, just like the standard. Are spreaders like when you go to get a pedicure and they like put those on so the paint doesn't get on it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes if you have like a neuroma or something like that, the spreaders will help.
What's a neuroma?
It's like a swollen nerve in your foot.
No, I got them because my big toe is becoming best friends with my other toe.
Yeah.
What, they're coming together?
That's what the turf toe is. The turf
Kissing.
toe bends the big toe in.
And you got that from sports?
He's got bunions.
No, they diagnosed it.
Let me see your foot.
All right, they diagnosed it with a turf toe.
Are we going to have to take that toe off, Dan?
I hope so.
All right, yeah.
Is he looking at it right now?
We got some stuff in the kitchen. If we got
some knives and some forks and some stuff that we could use for a little baby procedure.
I'd pay about 40 cents to see that foot.
You pay him to put it away.
40 cents more than I had before I showed you my foot.
Yeah. So it says here, foot fetishes are the most common fetishes. The rare peasant foot type takes the lead when it comes to earnings. That is where the 3 largest toes are equal in size. And we were kind of talking about if anyone has like some interesting fetishes, I would be interested in hearing them. 813-90-BUBBA. Some things that are nothing too crazy and like disturbing, like you have sex with dead bodies, necrophilia or anything like that, but just kind of like odd things. I remember when I was in grad school, we would kind of learn about not necessarily fetishes, but like making sexual connections during like imprinting. Like, for example, if you were really young and like your mom spanked you and maybe like, I don't know, your penis moved or something, then all of a sudden you have this lifelong not fetish, but like preference of like being spanked. Like you associate that with arousal. And sometimes I feel like that's usually the age at which wires get crossed or something.
That was the theory for Dahmer, remember? They said that he was, doing the dissections,
the pellets
and and the shiny, slick, glistening organs were attractive to him.
And he liked that. Now, is there anything about, I don't want to get too personal, but I actually do. Is there anything about you guys that you think is a little bit odd? Things that most people wouldn't even like think of, but you find them like attractive or noteworthy on the opposite sex? Like, I don't know. I like a good calf on a guy, which isn't too weird. It's not really like a fetish or anything, but most people don't even like look at that at all. But I feel like it's something that I certainly notice.
Oh, man. This is
there any, I mean, I know
guys
like
are pretty
TNA.
simple. Guys are pretty simple on. I mean, it's going to be tough
A
to.
lot of guys like foot stuff, so I mean, guys are usually
teeth. Okay.
What is it?
Has the girl got most her teeth?
Most of her teeth. Okay.
Yeah,
18.
Is it even number of teeth?
Yeah. All right. That works. Let's see.
I have grown to like women with tattoos. I know that's nothing too crazy, but I used to not really be a fan, and now I really like it. I don't know why, if it like just signals that like it's a naughty girl or something.
Like a rebellious thing.
Yeah, not that they're gonna want to do anything with me, but I've come to really enjoy that.
Interesting.
Same for you
but
dudes
you
out
didn't.
there.
But you didn't like it before.
No, I never really.
You thought maybe it was like a dirty white trash thing, but now all of a sudden you find that kind of alluring.
I just growing up, not being told that we weren't able to get tattoos in Judaism because we're not able, we're not supposed to mark up our bodies and everything like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought was a thing, and I see all these Jewish girls with tattoos.
Yeah.
So what happened? You guys just like the Pope just changed the rules?
Well, they can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Well,
so.
here's the thing: most Jews are not very religious at all, Dan. Especially in Israel, it's like it's a very left, open society where most people.
Like that really hot chick that got kidnapped.
They got like raped and decapitated. Yeah. She was a tattoo artist. Yeah. No, most
so
people
she won't
who are
be buried in a Jewish cemetery. Then
my wife's tatted up, and I'm going to be buried next to some other hoe. So I mean, I'm looking.
There you go.
It's her fault. I'll be next to some non-tattooed Jewish woman for the rest of eternity.
I met a Jewish man from Israel named Barak when I was in Thailand somewhere, and he had a giant Jewish star on his chest. And I asked him that very question, and I'm like, "What are you doing? I thought you're Mr. Religious. You have this giant tattoo, and ironically enough, of a Jewish star." And he's like, "Oh, it's no problem. When I die, they'll just cut it off and then bury me in a Jewish cemetery."
What?
Yeah. They'll like cut off the skin. Yep, and just throw that away. and then bury you in a
That was
Jewish
never my
cemetery.
plan. I would just get cremated at that point. But I mean, I guess when I'm dead, doesn't really matter what
That's what I'm saying.
But I just would maybe save the trouble of the people that have to skin me.
Yeah, I think it's part of their job. I don't think they really mind.
There's a whole type of tattooing where they skin you. They do take
What?
strips of skin off of you.
Oh,
It's-
the
it's out.
keloids and stuff. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
I
Ugh.
see that in it. Like African and
yeah,
maybe
Asian.
like Papua New Guinea sort of
Yeah,
things.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated by those people because you never really hear about them. The Melanesians, those people. I feel like they weren't really conquered by white people because white people went and they went, no thanks, I'm leaving.
And there's it's hard to get electricity out there.
Yeah. Hello, who's this?
Hey, Tampa Terry,
What's up, Tampa Terry? I believe Seth summoned you yesterday, so thank you for calling in.
What did I do yesterday?
Oh, I don't know. I remember Seth saying we haven't heard from you in a while, and so you called
Sorry.
in, and here you are.
Freaky Phone Friday.
My bad.
Oh, yeah. I heard you guys talking about ejaculation.
Yeah, what's going on? What sort of things kind of get you going that might be out of the norm?
Well, you remember one time I called in for medical advice from Dr. Giacco when my blood pressure was having problems and I ejaculated blood.
Okay.
And it was pure blood. It wasn't just a little bit. It was like red wine. And luckily I was alone when it happened. But I kept thinking ever since then, what if it randomly happened again when I was with a girl or something,
Well, likelihood of that's pretty slim.
Him being with a girl?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what if, brother? And what if she got the red rain, brother? At the end, that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it would be. That'd be like the chances of me having sex with a Sasquatch. But good luck.
All right, thanks, Tampa Terry. Appreciate you. Great, I love it.
Is he doing a full-on Hogan now when he calls?
No,
or?
that's more of a Alex
voice changed.
Alex Jones.
Oh, Alex Jones. Okay.
Yeah, is he still on that show from time to time? I know he's been on at least once or twice.
Yeah, his voice got lower, like he's finally hitting puberty.
Yeah, good for him. Thanks for calling in, Tampa Terry. I did want to discuss this a little bit. Mexican cartels are back. Violence leaves some Mayan ruins inaccessible to tourists. Have you guys seen the Mayan ruins?
I've seen some.
You
Pictures.
have?
Yes.
Okay. Is it worth seeing? I feel like it's something I would want to see.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad?
It's not bad. I mean, I didn't see some of the big, huge ones, but I mean, I've seen some. It's cool. I guess.
I like it. I mean, I like ancient ruins sort of stuff. That's kind of what gets me going. Mexico's government admitted that tourists can no longer get to at least two of the popular Mayan sites and tour guides in the state of Chiapas. I actually watched a documentary on Chiapas yesterday about how they're all addicted to Coke, but not cocaine, Coca-Cola, actually. And they're all dying. All of them are dying. And they all know what's causing it, but they won't stop drinking the Coke. So it's pretty crazy. They told the Associated Press. That additional ruins that the government claims are only accessible by passing through the gang-controlled checkpoints. Let me, have you ever had any scary situations down in Mexico where maybe you ran into some cartel folks, and how do you deal with that? Because if I pulled you over, I'm probably going to go, this guy is not from here. And maybe it's the U.S. license plate that kind of also gives it away
No,
as
we
well.
wouldn't do that. We have
more than 5'6".
Melinda Fennell, 25. No, we had a
Thank you.
We had a security guard. His name was Jesus.
Jesus.
He was a former police.
Jesus save you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he take the wheel?
He actually took 12 bullets, and he was in the
What?
Mexican military, which so he was allowed to carry because you're not allowed to carry guns.
Okay.
But he was our driver. We had a driver. We drove everywhere, so he knew where we could go, and he would pay people off.
Nice.
But downtown, where we had our apartment in Ensenada, was a scary place after about 1 a.m.
Okay.
So there would be cruise people because there was a port town.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of people when we were living there that got kidnapped.
Okay. Is that the scariest place that you've been where you felt not secure at all?
Oh, no, not at all.
And then if you die, no one will know or find out what happened.
No,
or
the
anything
cities
like
aren't. The
that.
cities aren't bad because especially the cruise ship towns. I mean, it was when I was there. When we had an apartment there. But Sonora was really bad.
That's not good.
There's a lot of crab there.
What kind of scary situations have you guys been
Guaymas.
in? Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I may not get out of this. No one's going to know where I die. Anything like that? Maybe while traveling? Maybe in L.A. I don't know.
No.
I don't know how far you've traveled.
No, but can you? I haven't. I don't know if Dan has, but I was just curious about the people dying from drinking Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you want me to pull that up?
Well, no,
What's killing them?
Yeah, I mean, because what about the people?
Diabetes. It was killing them like more than COVID. It's like I think it's the poorest state, or maybe it's a province in Mexico, and they were all just dying of drinking Coca-Cola nonstop, and it was specifically Coca-Cola. Let me try to find it for you guys.
No, yeah, you're right. It's state.
Chiapas.
It's on the Pacific side.
That's interesting. I mean, we've got people here that drink a lot of big gulps in a day. You know, they're kicking.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like I don't know if they just like weren't used to it, or
I think they were having problems with their water too.
Yeah, because the Coca-Cola plant was using it for all the Coke products and stuff like that. But it just showed like it was pretty sad. I hate it when documentaries end and it's just like, yeah, this is bad. No one's changing. It's just going to kind of continue forever. But I don't know. This was part of the documentary. They even started incorporating Coke. Oh yeah, this bitch was she was a shyster, and she was saying that diabetes isn't caused by Coca-Cola or sugar. It's actually caused by having feuds with your family.
Linda Fennell, 25 on the Cash App. Mexican Coke is really good though.
Yeah, it's made with real sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really like it, but they all have diabetes. She said that the drink has healing properties.
They said that 100 years ago.
Yeah, so here she's saying, they ask her like, well, isn't this killing people? And this was her response.
50 crates a month. Why do you think there is so many people with diabetes here?
Diabetes is caused by anger and problems in the family.
You can also be familiar in other diet.
Yeah, when we scold each other and we yell at each other. So anyways, just a pretty sad documentary about how Coke is ruining these people's lives, and they die of what I like to call sugarfoot. Yeah,
hey, that's you are really watching some uplifting stuff when you leave here.
Well, yeah, I only really watch like documentaries and stuff about science and a little bit of history and stuff like that. But have you ever been in a situation where you weren't sure if you're going to make it out alive? Dan, I know you worked in New Orleans. Did you ever find yourself in maybe a bad part of town and it was kind of a little sketchy, perhaps?
I had a couple instances in New Orleans. The scariest thing was when I was walking back to my car once. The French Quarter, you got Bourbon Street, and then you got like Royale, and then it gets really bad after that.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 or 2 blocks off of Bourbon Street can become dangerous.
Right.
So the House of Blues had their grand opening. I had just seen Aerosmith at a distance from here to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool. I was on such a nice high, and I was, walking back to my car, which I had actually parked in the French Quarter because I knew where to park. And I see 6 guys beating up a guy. And I try to walk, keep my distance and keep my head down.
Just probably maybe a detail that doesn't matter, but was everyone like the same color?
All white.
Oh, all white. Okay.
So
yeah.
it was 6 rednecks from like Mississippi beating up a tourist.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I tried to keep my distance, and then right as I crested him, the kid ran away. And so the leader of the guys are like, "That's right, you're next." As he looks at me, I'm like, "Oh God!" So I'm thinking like, I gotta fight 6 guys.
Yeah, this probably won't end well.
And so all these calculations are going through my head at this point. So like, I'm thinking like, how much distance do I have on them? They don't realize that my car is right there near me because no one's car is near them in Bourbon Street. You know what I'm saying? That never happens. No one's really ever close to their car, or they, the cab or walk.
Right.
So I just knew that I had to get to my car before they did because I had a Desert Eagle in there. And we're not talking about the bird.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's easy to carry around.
So I was in the car. It wasn't on my hip.
It's not much use.
Right. But I had to figure out, though, as I was doing it, I had to figure out who was the leader. Because at this point...
You can win him over sort of a thing?
No, hurt him. If I hurt the leader, the rest of the people go away.
Oh, okay.
And so it was really at one of those moments where I'm either going to have to like try to hurt this guy as badly as I can in the first 5 seconds in front of his friends, or I'm going to get to my car and get to my gun.
Yeah.
And so I start walking towards the car because I want to avoid the conflict. And then the leader starts running towards me.
Uh-oh.
And then I turn around, and then he stopped. and that gave me just enough time to get to my car. As I closed my door, those guys were on my door, and I had to brandish my gun.
Yeah.
And they finally kept going, but it was, literally a second or two from getting destroyed by 6 guys.
Yeah, that's scary.
It was scary. It was scary. And it was like, a quiet part of town. There was no cops. There was no nothing. It was just us. It was just me and those 6 guys.
Yeah. Are there certain parts in New Orleans where the cops just don't go? Because that was definitely the case in Detroit, where people were telling me, like, I remember one time I got lost on 6 Mile, which is arguably worse than 8 Mile. Like, the closer to the city you get, like 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, those are miles from like the center of the city. And one time I got lost on 6 Mile, and I was told by other people, like, just do not go there because if something goes wrong, cops aren't going to come. Mm-hmm. Was that a similar case? And
it's not that cops don't come; it's just they get there slowly. They take their own sweet
Let
time.
all the death and despair happen.
Yeah. When it comes to natural disasters, I was once crossing from the Bahamas in a 32-foot boat with 2 engines, and we lost an engine. And trying to drive a 32-foot boat with its underpowered already with 2 engines, with 1 engine, it wouldn't get a plane. It was like literally like 12, 15-foot seas.
Was it just
Me
you?
and a guy named Rip.
Uh-oh.
Who fortunately was a seaman.
Okay.
But the 2 of us were scared. It took us like 7 hours to cross.
Okay.
Jeez.
So that was probably anxiety
I kissed
inducing.
the ground. I kissed the ground. I thought I was going to die.
It's not good to go to the Bahamas now either.
Why?
Oof. You haven't heard about that?
What?
Tell us.
The U.S. Embassy is saying that the Americans should not be traveling to the Bahamas
for safety reasons.
Yeah, safety reasons.
Really?
Because
all
of
the
murders? The gangs?
Haitians?
Yeah.
Oh, the Haitians are there?
When I was there last year, the local Bahamian taxi driver was complaining about the Haitians.
That they were taking the jobs, they were causing problems.
Both.
What about Turks and Caicos? Is that still on the table for everybody?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
Good
real
snorkeling
nice.
out there.
I've never been. I just know that's where all the famous rich people go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had some scary times, I think, in Thailand with some wild dogs. That was kind of scary. Where I was at night and I was like trying to use the bathroom, and I was in this like bungalow, and I came down to try to use the bathroom, and there were just a bunch of dogs that just started growling at me, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Am I gonna just like pee my what are my options here? Just pee my pants? I don't know. So I woke up a friend and I'm like, listen, if I get eaten by a dog, at least there'll be some eyes on me. But
do you think about getting a weapon, or I mean, what?
No, I literally just because I was in a bungalow and there were probably maybe 12 to 15 people sleeping up top, and then there was like one little ladder, and then the dogs were starting to like growl and bark at me, and I didn't want to wake everyone up, but I also didn't want to die, so I opted to just wake up one friend, and then I climbed down probably like to the bottom rung, and then just like peed right at the bottom. You know what I mean? So I could just scurry up if I needed to.
Sounds like some weird video game where you have to get past the security dogs to go pee.
Yeah.
And then you win.
Yeah, it wasn't a great time. We went on a 3-day trek in Chiang Mai, which is in the north of Thailand. And we were only supposed to go for like a day or 2. And then we decided we wanted to go for a 3rd day. So we were like, listen, we'll just pay you whatever the difference so that we can continue on this 3-day trek through Chiang Mai. It was really cool. And he didn't want to take our money, but he did want us to have sex with him. So there was this like weird thing. We're like, no, why won't you just take our money? He's like, no, you have to. He's like, maybe just like, And he was, I forget exactly what he said, but he kind of motioned that there could be some other sort of business deal. So we're just like, no, you're taking our money. And yeah.
Did you think about it?
No. I didn't want to have sex with a barefoot like Thai man who was taking us through the mountains. I was good on that. So, anyways,
I mean, he could have been thick and rugged, as Bubba would say.
He could have been. I don't know.
This break gives Bubba time to Monty up on an unsuspecting member of the support staff.
I walk up on him, I bear hug him, bite him in the shoulder.
Jesus! Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
We good? What is that? They gotta sleep. He's sleeping. He said to come back in. Like he was annoyed we woke him up.
That's funny.
Like those, the movies and stories you hear about Mexico.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's that bad.
Feet up, just sleeping.
Hat over his face.
Yeah.
What up, Lunger? GM. Oh, man.
Hey, D-Rock. What do you want to do?
Sure.
You want to do human?
Huh?
Human?
Let's do the human one.
What's up? Nobody likes onions.
Oh, human. I'll do human. Yeah.
Yeah, super.
All right, maybe I'll check it out, Bubba Light, because I need to support Russell Crowe.
It's got a little bit of...
He's my gladiator.
There's a big chocolate or no? Usually there is.
What'd you get, Gator?
Is this Smoothie? Smoothie King. Yeah. They weren't open. The other one wasn't open yet. That was like waiting.
I'm excited to try this.
Very similar.
What'd you get in the blaster?
This is a blaster. Oh, wow, that's hot.
Watch.
On a Super Beats next.
Yes, that'd be great.
What up, Ian? I'm in the bathroom real quick.
Smoothie King. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does ICAM work for this stuff at all?
Probably.
I'm gonna get some then. I was feeling better over the weekend, but now it's like kicking my ass again.
Sucks. You just fart, Anna?
No, I cracked my back.
Oh.
Did
Sounds
you
like
hear
a
it?
fart, but from here.
It didn't fart.
Yeah, next time I fart, I'm going to say, no, I was cracking my back.
Yeah, except you're not twisting or moving or anything. I was thinking about that randomly last week, and I just started fucking laughing. You just start farting. You think you're all being slick and shit.
So permagram. I think you said yesterday the purple block.
Mm-hmm.
It's what?
That's the Bubba Delta.
Okay.
Is that what that is? Today, the prototype?
Because he was asking me yesterday, not Bubba, but the guy asked me yesterday.
That's good.
Okay. Because he heard you say that, and he was like, was it? I'm like, I think so.
No problem, bro. I was there in 98. No, I lied. I was there in 95. Sorry.
You've been to 10 Super Bowls?
What fabric did you get, J Gator? Where's your fabric card? Probably a rookie, I'm assuming. Ugh.
It's a fabric card.
It's got like a little piece of their jersey.
Oh,
card.
okay.
Yeah. Call like a something. Patch.
The Catholics do that.
What do they do?
When you ever see it, you've never probably been to a Catholic church, but the priest will kiss the altar. There's a little thing in the altar with a piece of cloth or hair or something from a saint or something like that.
Oh, really?
From someone, religiously iconic. And they're kissing her.
Interesting.
Oh, it was a cloth.
I would take the cloth over a hair, but I mean, whatever you
The
can get.
majority of the time it's a cloth, and don't they cut it up?
Yeah, it's something. It's something.
I can't think of the name, but yeah, don't they cut it up and you hold it in your mouth?
Well, explain yourselves. Just like a six-pack of cheap Yiddish beer.
Doesn't surprise me. You look like a typical low-life character to me.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Bubba Love Sponge Show. Bubba's not here, but he'll be back on Monday. Don't worry. We're still accepting donations. Cash App and PayPal at the Bubba Army. I believe we have a message from Lummy?
Or from Dan.
And Dan. Sorry, Dr. Dan, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to just remind everyone that February is Heart Health Month in the United States, where more than half of the U.S. population would benefit from blood pressure support. And that's why we are blessed to support Super Beats, the heart chews, which are #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended way to support healthy blood pressure. And they even promote healthy heart healthy energy without the stimulants. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beats are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. And with over 40,000 5-star reviews and counting, people are raving about these Super Beat heart chews. Now, I love them. They taste good. They make me feel better. It is the #1 doctor recommended way to help support your blood pressure. And it's a convenient way because they are plant-based. They're easy to add to your routine. There's no pills to swallow, no ingredients to mix or prepare. And supporting healthy blood pressure comes with a bonus because now Super Beat Heart Chew supports healthy circulation, so you not only get blood pressure support, you also get productive, heart-healthy energy, but without the crash. So support your heart health and Super Beat Heart Chews. Get a free month supply of Super Beat Heart Chews on all bundles and a free full-size bag of turmeric chews valued at $25 with your order by going to BubbaLovesBeats.com. Get this exclusive offer only at BubbaLovesBeats.com.
Nice. That was a lot better than yesterday. That was great. And right on time, Lummy. Great job there.
John Kosika, $100 PayPal.
Thank you guys so
Gone
much.
Big Gold, Hall of Famers 25.
That it?
That is it.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Keep the money coming, please. And thank you, Cash App and PayPal. Would very, very much appreciate it. 813-90-BUBBA if you'd like to call on and contribute to the conversation. So I keep calling her Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's not her name. Her name is Karine Jean-Pierre. Is this right?
Yeah.
And
KJP.
she is the Biden's press secretary. Is it like the second or third? No, it was just Jen Psaki and then her, right? Or was there an interim one?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah, I hated Jen Psaki when she was with the State Department. I never liked her, but I didn't think I'd find a way to like someone less, and I like this person less.
Less, yes. Yeah.
She is horrific.
Has anyone made it all 4 years as the press? It seems like they run through them.
Not in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we talk about Sarah Huckabee being the best, and she is, in my opinion, she was the best. But I think my favorite of all time was Sean Spicer. Do we remember this guy who was eating gum?
He was the best because of the parodies.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I think he did
Melissa
Dancing with the
McCarthy
Stars.
did him on Saturday Night Live. It was one of the funniest skits I've ever seen.
I got to see that. Lovey, could you pull it up?
Did you not see it?
We may have watched it. I don't know.
My
It's
God,
been a while.
It made me cry.
Yeah, with they're making fun of Sean Spicer and him eating gum aggressively. He just always looked panicked, which was probably accurate because we were in a panic state of affairs, so I kind of get it.
We weren't really in a panic state of affairs. It was
Well,
all
he was.
manufactured,
Yeah.
and they were going up against the tide and the waves from day one. It's a
Yes, yeah. So Karine Jean-Pierre has been, it sounds like she's getting ripped by her own team for saying that the 3 U.S. troops killed in Jordan in Tower 22 died fighting for the administration. I think it was, she had a little heavy rotation there for a second, but I'll play the clip. It's not too long here. I'll play the clip. It's not
She doesn't
too long
use
here.
proper English. She doesn't seem that intelligent.
I believe
it's
she's
frustrating.
from,
It doesn't matter. I don't care if she's from.
Mauritania?
Yeah, she's from somewhere not here.
Okay.
And if you're going to be the press secretary for the United States, at least speak the Queen's English, or I guess the King's English now.
Okay. I feel like her English is pretty good. I maybe
It's
don't
not.
really.
She makes grammatic errors all the time.
Okay.
She's horrible.
But I will say obviously our deepest condolences go out, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the families who lost three folks who are military folks, who are brave, who are always fighting, who are fighting on behalf of this administration, of the American people. Obviously, more importantly, we lost those souls. What I will.
Yeah, so she got blasted for saying that they were working for the administration, which is like, I feel like it's not technically wrong, but it also makes it sound like Joe Biden sent them to die, which doesn't make her team look good. So people are a little bit upset. They have 3 folks.
She moved here when she was 5, so you got to give her that, Dr. Dan.
Yeah, she's been here a while.
Maritana?
Where's she from?
France.
No, it's like in the Caribbean. It might be a French.
She's Haitian, I think.
No, she's not Haitian. She's in Mauritania. Do you know where that is? It's an island.
Okay, well, she wasn't born there, and she's not from there. Her parents were, or dad might be from there, but she was born in France.
Oh, she was born in France.
Yes, and she moved here. She moved to Queens when she was 5.
Oh, okay, my mistake then.
She went to Columbia.
Why was she so tripped up on saying 3 people? Because I feel like
she doesn't want to say soldier. She
right.
doesn't want to. She's trying to be so careful on how she picks her words, because everyone gets so
triggered.
They're so hypersensitive. And if she doesn't use the appropriate word, then she gets blasted. And so she's been getting blasted recently. So she's really trying to be careful.
Well, she needs to regroup because she's not ready right now.
She sucks. I can't believe that's the most clever person they can find.
She wasn't born. I mean, I guess she was born in France, but it was it's that island in the Caribbean. Let me Fort de France.
Okay, what?
Sorry.
So we're saying it's Fort de France and not France?
Is Fort de France part of Haiti?
No, I'm trying to say that island, Martinique. Are you
Martinique?
Yes, thank you.
Martinique. She was born in Martinique.
Yeah.
So in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But she's
That's
not
what
born
I
in
was trying to
France.
say.
She was born in the Caribbean.
I mean, it might be part of France.
According to her Wikipedia, it says France. That's why that's all I said.
Okay. All right. We'll move on.
Her
from
Wikipedia,
that.
her Wikipedia is incorrect.
We got another Obama thing on our hands here.
Yes.
Maybe she was born in Kenya.
She's not trying to be the president, at least not yet.
What's going on?
We'll see how this goes. I do want to play a little bit of this here. The Iran denies role in deadly drone attack on U.S. troops in Jordan as Iran-backed group claims strikes nearby. So I don't see anything good happening from this. I think I was reading that the drone that killed those 3 people in Jordan actually followed a friendly drone, right? So they didn't want to shoot down their own drone, and somehow it followed the one that was ours. Did you guys hear this at all?
No. Did the enemy plan this on purpose? Or?
I'm assuming so, or maybe it was just kind of like a serendipitous occasion. Yeah, for them, not for us, obviously, but that it just followed in a friendly drone, and that's why it wasn't shot down.
In Jordan, that killed 3 Army soldiers and wounded more than 40 others. Tonight, we are learning the extent of some of those injuries, including about 8 service members who had to be airlifted, and the names of the 3 killed in the attack. Well, tonight, we've got our new reporting that U.S. air defense systems failed to protect that outpost. Plus, President Biden is vowing to retaliate in hopes of sending a clear message to Iran and others here in the region. We'll take a look at the U.S.
What is he just going to send over more troops, or you think this is going to escalate things, or do you think that they're just going to make one drone attack, or how do you think this is going to play out?
It's called measured escalation. And it's going to
okay.
continue to have measured escalation for the next year or so.
You think so?
Oh yeah, we've been talking about this. This is our third world war. This is it.
You think that this is
part
how
of
this
it.
is getting triggered now?
Started with Ukraine's got this, and now all these other countries are trying to pick on the other countries, and World War has become opportunistic, and World War II. No, what I'm saying is, in World War II, some of the outbreaks of violence were because people were distracted by other areas.
Okay.
And they figured they had an opportunity, and so that's going to keep happening.
Like
so,
when Japan invaded Manchuria and stuff like that. Oh no. I thought someone dropped a phone or something. I don't know. Iran has denied it was behind a drone strike that killed 3 U.S. troops. So they're denying it, even though I think a military operation in, was it Iraq or Syria, that was backed by Iran has taken responsibility for it. So, Iran is indirectly, I guess, responsible for this. Has killed 3 U.S. troops at a military base in northeast Jordan on Sunday, but the Iran-backed military base in Iraq said it had carried out 4 attacks in the area. So we'll watch a little bit more of this.
Options and the consequences of starting a wider conflict in the Middle East. We want to begin tonight with the deadly drone attack in Jordan. CBS News has learned that the drone used in the attack appears to be an Iranian one-way attack drone, like the ones Iran has been providing to Russia for its war in Ukraine.
She said Russia like Trump to Russia.
I know. Yeah, I see a war kind of breaking out between like the NATO countries and then is it the BRICS countries? I feel like have they started an alliance? Are you familiar with the BRICS countries?
No, what is that? Is that China,
Brazil,
India?
Russia, India,
China,
North Korea, and China and
I don't think North
South
Korea
Africa.
is in it.
Sorry, South Africa.
I don't think North Korea is in it.
No, I know. I messed up. Is what I'm
South
saying.
Africa's in it?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you could look up the.
Yeah, it's South Africa. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt,
Who just kind of have a different way
Iran,
of.
and United
Next
Arab.
on C-SPAN.
Oh, here's the
Daily
Sean
White
Spicer
House
deal.
Press briefing with Press Secretary Sean Spicer.
Oh, so a moment of levity.
Yes.
Before we begin, I know that myself and the press have gotten off to a rocky start. All right. In the sense, when I say rocky start, I mean it in the sense of Rocky the movie, because I came out here to punch you in the face, and also I don't talk so good. Now I'd like to begin today by apologizing on behalf of you to me.
You think this isn't like top 10 of best SNL skits?
Top 10. Yeah,
You think so?
absolutely
Okay.
top 10.
Yeah.
For how you have treated me these last 2 weeks. And that apology is not accepted. Because I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm here to swallow gum, and I'm here to take nade.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm trying to think of other ones that come to mind that are pretty memorable. Probably like Chris Farley stuff.
Eddie Murphy stuff.
Yeah, what was he when he
Jim
was
Belushi?
like? Yeah,
John Belushi.
John
I'm sorry.
Belushi. Excuse me. Yeah, those were pretty much the best ones that I can think of right now.
I feel like the cowbell skit, people.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Which one
I
is
love
that?
the cowbells. It's with Will
Christopher
Ferrell.
Is it Walken?
Will Ferrell
Yeah,
and
and
Christopher
Walken,
Walken.
too.
Oh, well, and what about the cheerleaders, the Spartan cheerleaders?
Yeah, that was Jimmy Fallon and
No, Will Ferrell.
I'm sorry, Will Ferrell
Yeah.
and Sherry O'Terry.
Cherry O'Terry.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
cowbells is awesome though. It has to like do with Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
The
one.
Reaper.
I need
Did that
to
guy
watch it
die?
again.
Is that why they did it? The guy died?
What, the cowbell guy?
The cowbell guy.
I have no idea, but it is a good sketch.
Representative Ilhan Omar is back in the news. Do you think she's kind of hot a little bit or no?
Her brother thought so.
Yes, he married her.
What happened? She married her brother?
Was that just to get in the country sort of a deal? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe it's cool where she's from. I don't know. But she's from Somalia, and I was going to play this for you, but I mean, I think at first I thought it was in Arabic, but I guess it's in Somalian or something like that. And she basically just said, like, she was a Somalia first kind of gal and pushing an unrecognized deal with Ethiopia. So she's speaking to her people. Apparently, there's a giant Somalian population in Minnesota. Is that right? Where she's from. And so it sounds like she was kind of speaking to her people, her crowd in Somalian. And she was saying that it's really not about U.S. first, at least for her. It's about Somalia first. And people are calling for this woman to resign because they feel like she probably shouldn't be in the U.S. government if she's sporting another country before sporting our own.
She's been saying this stuff for 6, 7, 8 years.
I know.
And no one's
I know.
now they're suddenly paying attention.
Well, I
It's
feel like
ridiculous.
the
It's
same
disingenuous.
people are yelling, but I feel like nothing's really being done about this, especially if she keeps getting voted in. So I guess I don't really know. She's being accused of treason and calls to be removed from Congress as she faces fierce opposition for speech where she unapologetically declared that she is Somalia first. Somaliland, which is, I guess, different than Somalia. I watched a little documentary on that probably about 6 months ago, but they're actually, I think, 2 different countries, or at least Somaliland is fighting for independence. That ambassador, Rhoda Elmi, reposted a video of Omar's speech on X and called it regrettably unbecoming and lacking in common decency. So I feel like we got a lot of bad actors or people who aren't necessarily, America first, and this can be a serious problem. But, I mean, her people keep electing her, so I don't know what to tell you. It's not great. It's not great at all. Other news coming. Sorry?
I was going to say, I mean, they can't kick her out or anything like that. I mean, she's going to be able to finish up her
Right,
time.
calling for her to resign, but I don't know if that's really going to...
She ain't gonna resign.
Yeah, why would anyone?
She married her brother to get here. I mean, do you think she's got any kind of,
moral
integrity?
compass?
No.
Yeah, probably not. So it's kind of scary that someone can, and I understand now why they want people who become the president to be born in America. Not that you can't be a bad actor or play for another team, but I kind of understand that, like, if you're born somewhere
Your
else,
allegiance.
yeah, and you come here, it's like maybe this is the long play. Maybe this is the Chinese long play where you're like, all right, you're going to go to America after you're born here, and you're going to work your way up the ranks and infiltrate the system and win the people over, and then, really show us who you have allegiance to once you get in the power of the ultimate leader. So, not great stuff. Also, news out of Polk County, doctor accused of secretly recording his juvenile patients changing in the office. Not great.
Disgusting.
More about a Lake Wales doctor accused of secretly recording patients.
Police say the victim who noticed the camera is a minor. 8 on your side's Chloe Sparks joining us live this morning with the details we know so far. Chloe.
Good morning. We're live out here at the Lake Wales Police Department, where we are going to be speaking with officers later this morning to find out more. But so far, what we know is that there is at least one victim. We also know there could be more victims out there. Dr. Paula Gade works at the Ava Rehab Clinic, where he is being accused of secretly recording a patient as they changed clothes. Lake Wales police say there was a camera set up in Gade's office changing room. A minor noticed the blue record light on while in for treatment. Gade had allegedly asked his victim to get undressed and put on a gown in there. Lake Wales police now have the camera.
I mean, you think you'd hide it better. I don't know. Not that I've ever set up any secret cameras, but I feel like it's pretty easy to do if you just kind of take a little bit more care and time and consideration.
They always see the light. Somebody always sees the light when I don't know, man. That is going a real long way to catch a glimpse of something.
Yeah, and it said these were minors, right? That were juveniles. Yeah, so they were minors getting
You're
changed.
screwed forever. The guy's
You
screwed
think
forever.
so?
I mean, it's so stupid to do.
Yeah. I feel like there's better ways around doing it. You don't have to record your own patients, especially when it's proven there's evidence there, and
Did this guy, Dan? You think this guy became a doctor so he could see kids naked, or do you think it just came up along the way that he's
came up along the way?
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, he could have been, Santa Claus. He could have been a coach. He could have been a teacher. He could have been a counselor.
Oh, okay. You don't just think he was like a pedophile with aspirations,
I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
To record the patient and are investigating this matter further. Gade was arrested yesterday and is being charged with video voyeurism and tampering with evidence.
Throw away everything,
now,
man.
when we speak with the Lake Wales police officers later this morning, we'll work to find out more information, including if there are more victims out there. Reporting live in Lake Wales, Chloe Sparks, 8 on your side.
I'm glad he got
Jenny
caught
Craig is back.
pretty early in the game. So that's good for everyone else so that we don't have more victims.
No
falling
way
this.
that was his first time. No
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
that was the first time.
Yeah, I feel like I remember, Dr. Dan, you were saying that not that you were courted by someone who was trying to, talk to you when you were a kid, but I feel like there was something with like a red boat or something like that, right? This was like a family friend or something that was taking an interest in grooming, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, were you ever the victim of, and maybe you found out or realized later in life that you were a victim of grooming, but did that ever happen to you along the way, either with a coach, a
Grooming?
teacher?
No, not grooming. I believe there was a doctor when I was a kid. Now that I think about it, I went in for a knee. I cut my knee pretty bad, and I went in there, and he told my mom to leave the room. And next thing I know, he was checking for a hernia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So.
And how does one do that?
You start fondling your testicles.
Oh.
It's a groin exam.
Yes, it's a groin exam. When I was like 7 years old. So.
Oh no.
Never saw that doctor again.
Did you tell your mom? I mean,
yeah, I told my mom that.
And what did
he
she
said
say?
that he was making sure that there was no nerve damage from my knee injury up to my
your knee injury up to your testicles.
Yeah.
You never can be too careful, I guess. Seth, did that ever happen to you, or do you kind of feel left out right now?
No, I'm getting groomed right now, and I'm in the process of it. So
as a almost 42-year-old male.
Yeah, it's going very well, but I don't want to call out the person that's grooming me right now. But
you still enjoying the gifts?
Yes.
Keep them coming.
And I haven't seen the dark side of it quite yet. So
well, that's good.
It's all good till it goes dark.
Yeah. No. I thankfully I was never groomed. Nothing like that ever happened. I think I did mention my mom had a cousin who I think was trying to hit it when I was like 19. But I think at that point you're not really a child anymore. But I did call him cousin lover because he would send me like really bizarre gifts that family is not really supposed to send, like Victoria's Secret gift cards and whatnot. And then he asked if I could send him like pictures of like whatever I got there. So yeah, no, didn't happen. No,
sure you didn't give him like any reason for him to get flirty with you?
I mean, I don't think so. I was just a little just twice. No, man, like he was in Seattle. I forgot where I saw him. It was at some family function, and he hadn't seen me since I was like, I was kind of a chubby kid, wasn't super cute, whatever. Not that he should be looking at me in that way anyways. He was blood related, but I guess in Judaism that's okay. If
sounds like
distance.
it's your fault. You got all hot.
Stop victim shaming.
He's couldn't control himself.
Yeah, I think he saw me at like my grandma's 85th, and he's like, "Not bad, not
Next to
too
grandma.
shabby." Yeah. Oh, thanks, mother ever.
Another break gone horribly wrong.
Dude, you are sick, okay? Just go see a doctor.
Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
Yeah, you are right. Thank you, Belinda Fennell, John Costica. Sound big go. 2 seconds. Is that what happened about the nation? I don't know, was married or cousin.
Huh?
What's up, Mark the Frog? Organic Gene, good morning. I'm sorry, Terry, that was not supposed to be for me. Sorry.
I mean, is it okay can I shout him out?
Can you, next time, pops up? What?
Oh, is Mark the Frog cool?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
All right, keep forgetting.
I didn't know if I know how
like
people.
Mark the Frog.
No, I know how people can fall out of the army. I just want to make sure he wasn't setting me up. What up, Mark the Frog?
Lom, do you want to do BetterHelp, or do you want to wait?
I'll wait one more break if that's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, Terry, I wear deodorant. It's got no aluminum in it. Some fucking
All natural?
all natural.
With the wood spice?
No wood spice. This is like a fresh kind of almost no scent.
You know what I'm talking about though, the wood spice?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tom's? My mom used to get that for me when I was a kid.
Dude, they were showing. I don't know who. They were showing. I don't know. It's a football player getting interviewed at his locker. He was putting on the deodorant. It was like all. It was all the white, like the white stuff that still like comes off. I was like, I didn't know people still use like your whole underarms white. I thought we got past that.
Yeah, usually now she goes clear pretty much.
Yeah, it comes on clear.
Yeah.
It'll still get on your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh no, this was like this guy was white, like fucking
like big oxide.
Yeah, like fucking lanes or like tan lanes or something.
Where's Charlie at today?
I used to love the right guard gel back in the day.
Thanks, Xerxes.
Oh, the ones that came up through the little...
Yeah.
Holes?
When I first started wearing... Yeah, you know that? When I first started wearing deodorant in like 7th grade.
Little screen?
Yeah.
And then I realized that...
those things melted like a bitch.
I was going to say, you don't leave that in the sun.
That's what I'm saying.
Charlie,
Just leak all out.
All right? Thank you, Charlie. See you next week.
Thanks, Nizuck. I never know temporary.
Okay, fake buzzer, Bob. Listen.
Yes, I still use Leopard 2000.
Got him.
Man, temperature's relentless.
Jesus.
If you dog it, it's made the same way Dove is made. Same type of soap.
I have not looked into Stellara, Anthony
I always
Weiner.
find it funny that you have an impersonator, buzzer, Bob.
I'm trying 69.
Got him.
Do I use looms? I do not.
Worst part about that Tom shit back in there was like 12. Puberty. My mom's like, no, you put it on after PE in like 5 minutes.
Sweat everywhere.
Sweat everywhere.
Oh, you had no aluminum when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. My
Oh,
mom,
you know, really?
Oh. We were health food stores all day long. My mom get it, and then you just start smelling it again because,
Well, I mean, I imagine.
it wasn't hiding the scent.
You're a sweaty guy.
Yeah.
You probably, needed extra strength.
I did. That's why I got to 16. I didn't wear deodorant. I wasn't wearing real deodorant.
I'm glad you didn't have to get to the point where you're shaving your pits.
I was shaving my pits.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought it might help.
That sounds itchy as hell, man.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It helps with smell.
With that natural shit.
Oh, yeah, you shave you don't have any hair on you, right? I feel like you've talked about shaving your body.
I used to laser my armpits when I was testing new lasers.
Oh,
so
okay.
now I don't have any hair just because I tested my armpit hair on about 15 different lasers.
That's great, though.
You even know which one of them worked?
I don't know which one worked. They all work to some extent. Yeah, I don't have hairy pits.
I probably wore Secret before. I wore
Secret's good.
My parents used to wear use Band roll-on.
Oh God, my mom used to use that.
I'd put it on sometimes with a little hair
But
left
the
on it.
roll would get stuck
Yeah.
though. You'd have to prime it to get it to start moving.
Yeah, it was such a flawed thing. We still haven't really evolved much.
My grandma.
What's up, Hogan
for
Stretch?
stocking Stuffer.
Say again?
My grandma forgot. My grandma for stocking stuffers would get the brute gift set.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Jay?
My mom would take the deodorant out, so we were just stuck. I was stuck with it.
I can't believe you remembered Sherry as Sherry's name. She is such a cool person in real life. We were at the Sorrento thing, and I went off with my buddies for a few minutes, and I came back, and my wife, and she had like 6 women crying. They were laughing so hard, talking about
Hey, imagine being like a 13-year-old kid.
And it's like, one of the things that only girls would talk about with each other.
Where were you at?
We were in the Sorrento Film Festival. It's in Encinitas once a year. It's a film festival.
Oh, okay.
It's like a week of fun. And so I
Okay.
go out there as one of the investors and hang out with people. And so my buddy Todd, she grew up in Ocean City, her cousin. So Sherry O'Terry and her cousin are friends now all of a sudden. It's really, really cool.
That's
So it's nice to see when someone's as cool and funny off the camera as they are on.
Oh, yeah.
She told us about the Will Ferrell thing, how she met him. She said they were both sitting there waiting for an audition. And he just stood up and he started doing his thing. And he's doing it. And so she stood up next to him and that's how they came up
That's
with it.
how they do the cheerleader thing?
That's how they came up with the cheerleader thing. It was such a rad, fly on the wall moment.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
Not usually, yeah, very.
That was a time when they had 4 really funny women.
Yeah, I know who was the other
The one who wrote
Tina Fey,
Tina Fey, her,
Amy Poehler,
and then the
Amy Poehler was funny.
Yeah.
The girl that.
In a country somewhere in the third world, the CIA is using this broadcast as torture to extract information about terrorists.
On your shoulders and legs, Craig the Bulldog, your cardio, abs, calves.
He thinks Evan is doing his patriotic duty.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure, too.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Bubba's not here. He'll be back on Monday. For those just joining us, I believe Jay is here.
Good morning.
There we go. Perfect.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Much better. Slept a lot more, feeling a lot. My brain is just back online, so it feels good.
Now that you got one day knocked out?
Yeah. Well, not just that. It was just a lack of sleep. I was having just horrible night terrors, you know. I thought I was fine. I went to bed Sunday being like, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be good. And then I just didn't sleep like a wink.
Just being chased by inflation.
Yeah, not just that. It was just like horrible car accidents, dead dogs, like people with one limbs. Yeah, it was just like, I was like, is this a bad omen? I hope not.
Could it be anything with the documentaries you watch?
Probably.
Going to bed after watching Making a Max Murderer?
Yeah, I did watch Killers of what is it, The Flower Moon. That's a great movie. But
I had to stop watching that stuff, Anna, before sleep. You know, as I've been trying to deal with it for the last year and a half on air. I find that if I don't watch that kind of crap before I go to bed, it makes me sleep better.
Absolutely. No, there's no doubt. But unfortunately, like, that's what interests me.
Me
So,
too.
you know, like, I don't like just watching like bubblegum stuff. I'm like, oh, no, people are dying, death, French Revolution. You know, I've been getting back into that, guillotine. So certainly not the move when you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, I use John Wick 3 to help fall asleep.
Lots of action. Yeah. But you're probably a freak. You're probably able to do that. Sleep fine, eat a ton of sugar, sleep fine. Everything's fine. You're just always fine.
Except my shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Is there an update on that? I know.
Yes, I'm getting some PRP and stem cell injections in it Friday. Hoping to avoid surgery.
I was going to ask, is there a possibility?
Yeah, there's still a possibility.
Okay.
They're like 6 weeks of immobilization, 8 weeks of rehab at least.
Yeah.
8 to 16 weeks of rehab.
So how long will you be if you have to get the surgery?
Couldn't operate for a month.
A month. Okay. I thought you said 6 weeks. You're going to cut it short 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, I'll operate, then do the surgery, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. That'll be
Shoulder injuries are devastating. They take so long to recover from surgery.
Yeah.
Super painful.
I'm sure Dan will just be just fine, as he always is.
Well, I try to regenerate like a starfish, and so hopefully I will.
A chocolate starfish.
I know, whatever. And, you know, but I've been very lucky over the years because I've had a lot of small injuries, and they've all gotten better.
Pretty easily. Yeah. Well, you know, you take great care of yourself. So.
Not really.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't. Yeah, again, you're a freak of nature.
Yeah, he's like the only 57-year-old I know that doesn't have, like, chronic neck, back, knee. This is the first, like, musculoskeletal injury that Danny's ever had as long as I've known him, and he's had tons of traumatic injuries, hit by cars 3 or 4 times.
Right, I remember the wrist off the bike.
Yeah,
were you were clipped by a car, or how did that go?
I got kind of like pushed off the road by a car.
No, what about the one day where you hit the car and you went flying and broke your bike in half?
Yeah, and broke a fibula.
Called me from the scene, Seth. I just got hit by a bike. Come and tell. He told me where he was, and I heard the ambulance ahead of me.
Oh my
So I
God!
was freaking
Got
out.
knocked out by a hatchback on the car, right in like Atlantic City.
Oh,
Dropped me.
Slipped on the way to the law office.
in my own yard.
Thankfully, you can't sue yourself, but
yeah,
scary
K-Dog, I got
stuff.
the same thing: a slap tear with the torn labrum and the rotator cuff.
And that what was the cause of that, or you don't really know?
Benching.
Okay, over the years. Yeah.
No, one day.
One day?
One moment.
He felt a pop.
Oh.
I felt something.
When was that?
3 months ago.
Ouch.
Yeah,
you go too heavy?
I wasn't even that heavy. I was doing like 8 reps with 185. I was going to go back. I was going up to 225,
which
it
is
was,
heavy
It was
for
an intermediate set. It wasn't my first set. It wasn't going to be my last one.
Were you able to get after your shoulder went out? Like, were you able to get the bar back up?
Yeah, it didn't even hurt that much.
All right.
You just heard a pop.
It didn't even hear a pop. It just felt bad, like something wasn't right after that one rep. And so I just racked the weight and stopped, which I always do. One of the reasons I think I have longevity is if I'm working out and something hurts, I stop.
I thought you
Just
said you only
right
work
there.
out twice a year.
Yeah, so I just why I don't. That's one of the reasons.
Stop for 6 months.
Yeah, stop
So
for
he
6
does
months.
185 16 times a year.
So, but yeah, it just never got better.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope
I
those
got
injections
Jennifer.
works. I'm actually really curious to see how that happens. I feel like I think Kevin Hazlett got some stuff in his knee done because he played tennis for many years, and I don't know, when you got money, you get new cool stuff thrown your way.
Technology changes, and I know from my business because I've been dealing with neck and back injuries and knees and shoulders my whole life, and so plasma.
From surfing or
no, No, from my business. You know, I deal in injuries. And so protein-rich plasma is PRP and stem cell. And so that has a tendency to work in shoulders and knees and ankles. It doesn't really do as well for necks and backs. But Stephen had a really good success with the knee. I had to have knee surgery when I was 43. I may not have had to have knee surgery.
MCL?
No, I had patella stuff.
Okay.
My glass fell.
Oh.
I had a patella surgery. It was very similar to Danny's. It wasn't like a really bad tear, but it was frayed and super painful, and it happened from surfing. And now they probably would have given me a PRP injection, and everything would have been fine. So, Danny, I would say you probably have more than 50-50 chance you could get a good recovery from this?
He said I have a 90% chance of getting 90% better.
Okay. That's incredible.
That's good. 90-90.
10 years ago, it would have been surgery, Anna.
Now, let me ask you this medically about the stem cells. Is it rude to ask where the stem cells are coming from?
No.
It's not. It's not
platelet-rich plasma.
It's not aborted babies, is it?
They take your... No, it's from you.
Oh.
They take your blood, spin it down, and put it back in.
Yeah, it's killer.
I didn't know that.
They do the transfusion basically. Well, they take it out, they spin it, they make it rich with the protein, and then they put it back in.
Is that expensive?
But where it's needed, yes.
And they pull
about $1,000.
Oh, okay. That's actually not as bad as I thought.
So they'll put it right where Danny's tears are.
And then just the stem cells go and kind of just regenerate whatever is torn or destroyed.
I don't think it works very well for complete tears, but I have a lot of incomplete tears. So
What if you have a lot of scar tissue?
Right. I have scar tissue, a little arthritis, but the joint surfaces are pretty good. The joint space is good, but I got a lot of like fluid in the soft tissue. A lot of edema still.
But for people like you and Seth and Lummy and Mach, who are all younger than us, you guys will probably do this in your lifetime. I bet you 50% of the people listening to the show will do PRP before they're 60.
Yeah. And I
Because
hope
we
that-
all have neck and back problems that you learn as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
I have a torn labrum for the last 12 years. If I can get some stem
Some
cell.
PRP. You want some Dr. family discount?
I'll take Dr. Dan's stem cell. Will you inject it to me after you get it done, Dr. Dan?
I'll give you an injection.
I'm curious to see how this turns out.
I got to figure out how he's doing it because I could probably just replicate it.
Oh, perfect.
You know what I mean? If I just
Do it
watch
in the
what he's doing it. Just watch what he's doing, then I could just do it for you.
I'll be patient X.
Okay. I just gotta see one.
Zero.
See one, do one, teach one.
Yeah. Dan,
I'll be touring, teaching people how to do it next month.
We'll set up the hidden camera in the room when you're going in there.
Let me please do not take your clothes off.
Exactly.
Yeah, break the
There'll
camera.
be two different
He
rooms.
has a mic.
The clothes
Lummy,
room and
clothes
the
on.
de-robed
Yes.
room.
I like that. During the hot mic, I heard you guys talking about Lummy. I didn't think I was going to hear that your mom made you wear like all natural deodorant or something growing up. Was she was afraid of, what was she, aluminum or something?
Well, we grew up health food wise.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And you decided to like reject that? Was that part of like the rebellious teens or something like that?
Yeah, when I got old enough to realize that the wood Tom's deodorant was not making me smell good, and the ladies did not like it.
Right.
Smelled
You
like
know,
mahogany.
putting a gallon of Brute. No, she wouldn't buy it for me.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
you're stinky at school and you're blaming your mother.
I would take my gallon of Brute that my grandma would get every Christmas for me, and I would slather that on after PE, which the ladies did not like the Brute smell either. So.
Because it was
Too
a combination of BO and Brute.
Yeah, BO and Brute. Well, Brute's horrible.
I don't even really know what that. I mean, it's cologne, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
or,
just like
okay.
a cheap, very cheap
Oh,
cologne.
is it like Axe or something?
No, it was before Axe. It's like a
Okay.
$10.
Oof.
So
bottle.
you get a Walgreens, you know.
Yes.
They still
Eckerd
make
drugs.
it.
I'm sure. I don't know. They still make Curve. I used to wear Curve when I was, a kid. They still have it there.
Well,
so
Curve's a step up from Brute.
a baby step. A baby step. Still kids cologne.
Oh no. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there has been an update in the Alex Murdaugh. Remember that was
I
hot,
did
like
see
what,
it.
like eight or 9 months ago.
It's crazy what the judge actually found out, and they still didn't. Well, I'll let you go through it.
Yeah, judge denies Alec Murdaugh's bid for new double murder trial after hearing jury tampering allegations. So we'll play just a tiny bit of this, and then Jay can backfill.
News from South Carolina, where a judge this evening rejected disgraced attorney and convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh's request for a new trial. His lawyers argued the jury was influenced by a court clerk. CBS's Nikki Batiste was in the courtroom.
This matter is now adjourned.
Tonight, a South Carolina judge ruled. Despite believing the court clerk in Alec Murdaugh's double murder trial lacked credibility, Murdaugh should not get a new trial.
I didn't.
He's already been sentenced, though, right? Can they ask for a new trial after
Yes.
sentencing?
Based on jury tampering, they can. And so the allegation was that the clerk of court was saying things in a way that the jurors could hear her, which were suggesting that they had to find him guilty. And so this was a hearing where the judge took every one of the jurors, 13 of them, including the alternate, and asked them whether they heard what she said and whether it influenced them. And so many of them said yes, and one lady said specifically, yes, my decision was based upon what I heard, and the judge still decided not to reverse it. And it wouldn't be reverse the whole thing. It's give him a new trial.
Okay.
Is what you do.
So you think that that is a mistake, that he should be given a new trial based on...
I think on an appeal it may be overturned. If you have a juror that says they actually heard a court official saying something and that conversation influenced their decision, then I think that's what the whole Constitution is about, a jury of your peers that is uninfluenced by television, by social media, certainly not by a court official that has a certain weight of credibility when you're sitting there, and every meal you get, everything that you have for 5 months is provided to you by this clerk and by a bailiff.
Did they say specifically what they overheard her or him say?
They did, and I don't want to try to misphrase the allegations, but it was essentially that you got to find him guilty.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like how it's already proven. How could you not find him?
How could you not?
So let it go.
Don't
and
they know better?
Putting that in context, knowing that a juror admitted that. Listen to the story of how the media presents it to you.
Not good.
Not have a conversation with any
That's the
juror
woman?
about
Yep.
anything related to this case.
And what, she's just denying that she even said that, or what?
Yeah, she's denying she spoke to them directly, but that's not the allegation. The allegation
That they
she
overheard
spoke
her.
loudly around them on purpose.
I see.
Murdaugh's lawyers say that court clerk Rebecca Hill told jurors not to be misled by the defense's evidence or fooled by Murdaugh's testimony, and pressured them to quickly render a guilty verdict, which would help Hill sell a tell-all book she planned to write.
Now, before this whole Murdaugh trial deal, did you guys know who the Murdaugh family was?
Not until all these weird things started happening.
Okay. Were you going to say something, someone?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
mean, she's writing a book. She may have influenced the jury.
Yeah.
This absolutely should have been looked at a little bit more carefully and possibly overturned. It will likely be overturned in an appeal. The judge was trying to protect the verdict, but it's going to destroy the verdict now.
Well, there's so much evidence against the guy. I actually watched some of the trial that it's okay to give him a new trial. He'll lose again.
Okay,
He'll
but is
lose
it just
again.
it's like a bunch of waste of time and money and stuff like that, and that's why people are trying to avoid it?
What do you think is the right thing to be done?
Yeah, probably retrial if you're not supposed to be influencing the jury by saying things like he's obviously guilty. I didn't know the details of this, but I didn't know she was saying like, yeah, you got to find this guy guilty. I mean, come on, look at the evidence. But,
right, you can't be quote unquote fooled by him.
Yeah, so then they will have to do the whole thing over again. And wasn't it like a 3-week ordeal?
It was way more efficient than you'd see in like New York or LA. It wasn't 3 weeks. It wasn't 3 or 4 months, and it would have been in a different jurisdiction.
I gotcha.
Right.
I usually give a little pep talk to the jurors. And I do
she's not telling what it's a pep talk.
Pay attention. It's a big day today.
One of the jurors who found Murdaugh guilty said comments made by Hill to, quote, watch Murdaugh's actions and watch him closely when he took the stand, made it seem like he was guilty, which influenced her verdict.
I mean, is that really, if she's like, watch them closely?
But that's what she's saying her defense was. The other people are saying she said, don't be fooled. You got to find him guilty. We need a quick verdict.
Also said they heard comments Hill made about Murdaugh,
They got in the Hall
but
of
were
Fame?
not influenced.
Are you feeling confident?
We're not going to comment.
So what is this woman facing, if anything? Like what happens to her if she's found nothing? They just have to redo the trial. That's it? Okay.
What they should be doing is looking into all the cases where she's sat as a clerk and see whether or not any of these other cases the jurors were influenced by her improper commentary. Because if she was comfortable doing it with a case that was this public, like Seth said about the blue dot and the doctor, this wasn't the first time. This lady's been a clerk of court for a couple of decades, man. And you're in a little courthouse, you think you are the power broker.
Right.
I like it.
You rule the city.
She's trying to move things along, Jay. She's like, listen, don't sit in here and deliberate I'm going to tell you guys to look at certain things that'll maybe speed up this whole process.
She's got bingo at 5. Let's move this along. Yeah, I get it. She wants to move things along. These things can be tedious and very time consuming.
They could, prevent her from making money on the book, arguably too.
Oh yeah, then she's gonna be pissed. She ain't gonna be happy. Jay, did you want to maybe summarize what the whole Murdaugh thing was for those that don't remember?
Sure. One more thing real fast.
Yeah.
I think she got caught plagiarizing on the book too.
This woman?
Don't know.
Yes, I believe I heard that last night on the news that the book is currently not for sale right now because there's so much plagiarism is like she's a Harvard chancellor.
President,
Like she's
yeah.
President
Harvard.
Gay.
Yeah, but Claudine Gay. Yeah.
She
not good.
plagiarized her own story.
No, what the jurors said about her.
Like she had she had a ghostwriter, didn't give him credit.
Yeah.
Not cool.
So the allegation was that he killed his wife and son.
Right.
And they found some evidence on the other son's social media where he was at the scene of the murder.
Boomer, what was his name?
It was like
Some weird-
Buster, and it was Peepaw, and it was all these funny names, and so he was
some real Southern stuff.
Yeah, so he took the stand for a couple of days, and the underbelly of this was he had also been accused of financial fraud as a lawyer.
Alex
because he had
Murdaugh.
the lawyer, because he'd been taking his client's money for years. Scumbag.
Mhm.
Talk about like Danny's saying about the doctor who's recording patients. This is the equivalent for a lawyer. Here's a guy that was taking recovery for people with catastrophic life-altering injuries of millions of dollars and not giving it to him, taking it for himself.
Right. And spending it on, didn't he have a pretty cool drug habit and some other sort of expensive
tried
habits?
to blame it on his drug habit, amphetamines or whatever. He was on all kinds of pills, painkillers and stuff, and allegedly.
Nice.
So he gets on the stand and he's like, yes, I'm a liar. Yes, I stole from my clients, but I did not. I did not kill my wife or my baby.
Yeah.
And he had this Southern draw. It was captivating, but not believable testimony.
Right.
It was some of the worst I've ever seen.
He's a really grotesque figure too, just with the, not that it matters that he has it's not even like red hair. It's like, it's infrared hair.
I'm redhead friendly and I don't like the guy, but it's because he said, I defrauded all these people for decades. And I'm a liar, but believe me here.
Yeah, made no sense. Did you guys watch the Netflix docu-series? I want to say I watched it, but it was probably about a year ago. So I think the kid that he killed, Paul, his youngest son, was a bit of a troublemaker. And if you recall, I think one night he was drunk with some friends. They got on a boat and started kind of driving the boat erratically, crashed, and killed one of the girls on the boat. Was her name Mallory Beach?
Yeah, that
something
was one
like
of
that.
The allegations. Is there another one where a kid in high school or who went to school with with the boys who may have been homosexual was found murdered near their home?
Oh, that's right.
And then there was also wasn't there a nanny or someone else?
These guys are like big time.
There's Miss Shirley dying.
Yeah.
And, one of Bella's friends dying and all these people just dying around. And then your son and your wife.
The Clintons.
Yeah, dropping dead. So here's a little bit of that trailer from the Netflix documentary.
The one person that I did everything with, he would have given anything to protect her.
Everyone was like, Paul, don't drive. And Paul would snap back and be like, well, this is my fucking boat.
Oh!
He was
out
of his mind drunk.
Y'all know Alec Murdaugh? That's his son.
I heard a scream and then a bang.
911, where's your emergency?
Oh, what bridge is this?
And then that's when we all started screaming for Mallory.
Did you guys watch this?
Did you beep that?
No, but this
I
is
did.
my
I dumped it.
nightmare of friends that have boats. Because Trey's at that age where he's going with friends that have boats, and this is I've had horrible boat cases, and they always end like this. You hit a piling, you hit a dock, and a 16 or 17-year-old kills somebody they love. It's terrible.
Not good. Not good.
Not good. In Florida, it's one of those hazards. It happens. Kids have boats at 15, 16 years old, and they drive like idiots, and then they start drinking and driving, and this is what happens.
The worst story ever, I don't know, to come out of the Bay Area, I feel like, as far as the boats. Remember those football players, 15, 20 years ago?
Skyler,
Yeah.
It was in 09.
They capsized, and then they hung on the boat for 20 hours or something.
How many were there?
3?
4.
4?
And where
one
were
guy
they
survived?
precisely?
They were out in the Gulf, 13 miles out.
And they were
pro football
teenagers?
Pro football players.
Oh, pro football players.
Two pro football players, 2 college players.
Okay, so what happened? So they're out there, they're drunk?
No, they're not. They were drinking, but their anchor got stuck. A cold front was moving in, and they gassed it up in reverse to get the anchor unstuck. And when they did that, the wave capsized and flipped the boat over.
Okay.
And then they all were kind of hanging out in the water. And then the story that Skyler tells is supposedly a movie's coming out this fall.
One guy survived.
Out of 4?
The guy
Nick
Skyler, he was hooked. I think he was like 40 49 hours, 50 hours, something like that.
And the big allegation,
And it
the
was
big
cold, too.
whodunit was these guys were pro athletes, and a couple were pro athletes and college athletes, but certainly athletic guys. And I think Skylar alleged that one of the guys just like voluntarily released himself to go.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing. The family said he would never do that. He would never do that.
And
so
why would he do that? To preserve the
because
others
you're
or
going
something?
40 hours and you can't make it anymore, and your mind just says, enough.
Okay.
I can't.
It was
I can't
cold
do
too.
It,
It was one of the coldest nights.
You know, think about your hands when you're in cold water. Eventually, you can't grasp anything. As a surfer,
No,
we
you
all know
lose your
that.
motor skills.
Your hands, you can't cup your hands when you surf in cold water. Your fingers literally stay spread apart. And so eventually, if you're trying to hold on to a rope for 40 hours or your friend's hand, you may just lose it. And if you lose it for a second, the weather was so rough and the water was so rough, you're gone.
Surprised he didn't get like hypothermia first.
Oh, I think he did, didn't he?
Maybe
The guy that survived.
the
I'm pretty
survivor
sure he
did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
can you live with that? Or before you die? Like, okay.
And he has survivor's guilt and everything. I mean, yeah.
No, yeah, it's a horrible story.
And
It's a
but
horrible
they
story.
and what, the Coast Guard found him or something?
Yeah, after I think, like I said, I think it was like 48 to 50 hours he were out there. But yeah, they were 50 miles out.
Ugh. Okay, and that happened. You said when, like 20 years ago or something like
2009.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a book, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if there was a movie. I always heard that there was a movie coming out about
Not
it.
Without Hope. Yeah, Rock was supposed to star in it, and then they switched over. I think it's coming out this fall.
Okay. Well,
I bet you it'd be an amazing
watch
movie.
that.
Like 127 hours, one of those kind of flicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great. Do you have a rich face or poor face, you think? A new study reveals how your face can determine wealth.
We all know what Dan has.
Rich face?
Yes.
Is this a thing, Dr. Dan? Have you heard anything about
I read
rich
the
face?
article. I read the article in the prep. I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I've seen some really, 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 really rich guys that don't look like they should be rich, like that billionaire from Mexico.
Right.
He doesn't have rich face.
Yeah. It says here the study carried out with white participants from Western cultures determined what facial features were associated with being high or low in social standing based on people's perception alone. The findings determined that people with more narrow faces, smiley upturned mouths, raised brows, closely spaced eyes, and a light, warmer complexion looked wealthier. And then they go on to say, and I'll go back up here for a second, that Jeff Bezos has a warm complexion. Is that
really?
Is that a warm complexion? That don't look too warm to me.
Seemed like a stretch.
Yeah, but apparently here's the kind of side by side of what they say a poor face looks like versus a rich face. I don't really. I mean, I kind of get it, but I feel like I'm just seeing what they want me to see, which is that this is just. It seems to be just a better looking person. I don't know. Is our better looks associated with wealth? I'm not quite sure.
You're asking the important questions. We covered the toes earlier and what kind of toes we have and how can we make money. Now we decide if we're going to be able to, be rich or poor based off our face. I can't even tell if that's a boy face, a girl face, somewhere in between.
It's a baby.
That's the point.
It's a genderless face.
It's just a head.
I feel like the rich face is going into the family bathroom, at the mall. I don't know. I don't know if there's any correlation with your face and how much money you make.
That is why I'm asking. People with wider, shorter, and flatter faces, as well as downturned mouths and cooler complexions, which does cooler just mean
cool
lighter?
versus warm? Versus like there's a gray versus like a little flush, like a little pink in the skin? Is that what I mean by warm?
Yeah, I don't know. It just says cooler, so then I'm like, does that just mean you have lighter skin? I know, it doesn't define it. It's kind of vague. We're viewed as lower class, less trustworthy, and incompetent.
Jeez.
Not cool. Dr. Dan, are you seeing any new trends? I'm very interested in things that are changing in terms of how people want to look aesthetically. Because I feel like there's certain things that people want to look more symmetrical and maybe have firmer breasts and things like that. But do you think that there are some things that are trendy that change with the times?
Well, I mean, I think the thing that is most trendy are proportions that people are really paying attention to.
Okay.
Like the waist to butt proportion, and also the face. It should be more of a triangle and not like an oval. So you see the guy on the right has a good distance between his cheekbones, and it's a lot different than the distance of his lower third of his face. So look at the right, cut him in half.
Yep.
Okay, look at the width of his face.
Yes.
Okay, right there. Then they go to the bottom third of his face. It's much more narrow. It's a V.
I see what you're saying.
So a V in a face is aesthetic, whereas just a regular old oval is less aesthetic.
I see.
It's interesting. You're using aesthetic versus rich. That's all it is what's aesthetic. And so they're making the presumption that people who are handsome or pretty are going to be rich.
I mean, like Taylor Swift doesn't have a glowing complexion. You know, it doesn't, and she still looks rich when you see her. You know what I mean? Even though she's pasty white.
Well, do you think that she's like, but she has a symmetrical, like she has a very beautiful face.
For sure.
Right?
She's a pretty symmetrical face.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cindy Crawford didn't have a symmetrical face.
She did not?
No.
Well, Danny's always said perfect symmetry looks a little odd on a face. And if you look at the most beautiful people, they're perfect, but they're not symmetrically perfect always. There may just be a slight variation from one side to side, which makes it look natural. Like the difference between having something mixed by a computer versus someone mixing it by hand. And some people I'd way rather hear something mixed by someone who knows how to mix it.
And is it because maybe those tiny asymmetries make them look like a real person versus just like an AI generated image?
No, because we don't like asymmetry. We like symmetry.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But if you look really closely, they're not symmetrical.
Well, I guess no one is perfectly symmetrical.
No one is.
Yeah.
And so what you want is symmetrical enough that you don't notice it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, but even, I guess maybe with you, because you look at, beauty and faces and breasts all day. But like for me, even if I see like an ugly person, to me, in my mind, initially they look symmetrical unless they're like, not.
They're symmetrically ugly.
Yeah, yeah. But then if like you look, you're like, okay, maybe I see it. And maybe the symmetry, because I'm always thinking like laterally, like right to left. But you're kind of talking about the dimensions of the face in terms of like north and south, quadrants and like north and south.
Yeah, like
and
looking at it like
thirds.
a pizza.
Yeah, okay, because you're Italian. I get it. That makes sense. I like that. While not mentioned in the study, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, who are both billionaires, have some face features mentioned in the study. Zuckerberg has a narrow face and Bezos a warm, ruddy complexion. I mean, I don't think either guy is super attractive. Although Jeff Bezos just turned 60, he does look great because he has on all the TRT.
That's what HGH
jacked up.
What kind of face does Bill Gates have?
A gross
Scary one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, Elon Musk's face is pretty symmetrical.
Yeah. I mean, I have heard studies where they find that people who are better looking or seem to be, people assume they're smarter, more competent, better leaders, things like that. And that doesn't necessarily, seem to be the case, but that's just the public perception of like what they are. So, yeah. We'll be back after this.
Don't be mad at him, dude. Be happy for him. He would be happy for you.
Yep, they got it all figured out.
Oh, no, I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him that I would like to beat him with my happiness.
Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
I got a middle face.
I wonder if like Andrew Cunanan, the guy that killed Versace, I wonder if he had a rich face because he always pretended like he was rich for years and he was from royalty. He was a good-looking guy. Yeah, I bet he had one of those faces.
There's a guy who's really rich that doesn't look rich at all. Are you familiar
You're moving down? Are you living
Tom
there?
Billieu?
Still here?
You want me to?
Oh.
Tom.
See you guys. See you then. What's that?
Tom Billieu.
Tom Billieu?
He started Quest Nutrition.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with who he is? He has
am not.
started this show called Impact Theory. I used to watch it all the time. Him and his wife. Let me show you. And he got like really into health and fitness. This guy here. Every time I see him, he looks like he should be. I mean, this sounds horrible, but he looks like he should be like white trash.
Oh.
But does he look familiar to you at all?
Yeah, a little bit. You know who looks like that to me? Jack Dorsey. You know, when he's all tattooed out with his nose ring. He doesn't look like he's, the guy that invented one of the most important social platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never listened to that guy. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I used to listen to this all the time. He has some really interesting people on there.
Is Danny really using a space heater?
I believe so.
Not that cold over here. Morning, everybody. Time is flying by on you. You must be doing something good.
Hopefully.
I like the way it sounds. I've been listening to it at home. I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. not easy. What up, Napa Mike? How you doing, buddy? What up, Ziggy? What up? HS Bubba Fan 69, Golden Egg Layer. Steve-O, what up, buddy? Skippy 77. What up? Z, Tim Anglin. How you doing, buddy? Spencer? Glowbug. 0985. Unity, what's up, buddy? Permagron, Shaka right back at you. Tool was unbelievable, HS Bubba Fan. If you look at YouTube, there's one song they let you videotape, Schism. It's at the Hollywood Night 2. It's on YouTube. It's incredible. Hey there, what up? Bubba Army Mom.
I appreciate it.
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, I confirmed yesterday with them.
Yeah, I told you, Skippy, I told you she was doing a good job.
Yeah, that's
What
fine.
up, Grouper Lips? How you doing, my friend? Thuggish, ruggish nerd. I have not ever raced up there, Dark Match Anthony Weiner. I'd like to. He saw Tool in Atlanta last week. How was that, Xerxes? God, it was so good. What up, Sicilian Redneck? Jeff Schwartz. Brian Gilson. How you doing, everybody? I imagine the Atlanta show was probably killer, too. Right back at you, Unity 17. Disturbed will probably be okay. I don't know a lot of their music, but I bet they play pretty well live. Tool is really incredible. In a smaller venue, I saw them in Orlando at probably, what's the basketball theater in Orlando? Arena?
It was, it used to be Amway.
Amway, that's still, it still is. You see them at Amway with 15,000 people versus at Hard Rock where it's 3,500. Much different show.
Yeah.
Way better at the small arena. So killer.
I saw a Perfect Circle at the Sundome back in the
Did you
day.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know they don't tour much.
They don't
so.
tour much. Wow, you're one of the only people I know that's ever seen them.
Right, I mean, right when they first came out, I remember because I was working at the radio station. We got to meet everybody in the band except
You're kidding.
Maynard. Maynard did do the meet and greet. So yeah, it was good. It was a good show.
He seems like a really interesting adult. Back then, I'm sure he was a little more different, but on Joe Rogan, he's a very interesting guy.
I need to hear him. I've always,
he's like a Renaissance man. He has a wine, like a wine vineyard.
He's such a private person. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see him on social. Like, he doesn't allow recordings in the concerts. Like, I know he used to perform with like his back sometimes
Right.
to the.
Well, still,
crowd.
he's in the back in the shade the whole time.
Is he?
And at the beginning of the show, he's like, "All of you all here, you're gonna live the moment with me. Put your fucking cameras away. If you don't put your cameras away, you're gonna get thrown out of the show."
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
he
he goes,
did.
I'll give you a chance at the end. The very last song, I'll give you a chance.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then he lets everyone record the last song. But his interview with Joe Rogan is a couple hours, very interesting, right at the beginning of COVID, and he talks about the band transitioning from allowing the electronic distribution of their music versus the last 25 years you had to buy an album.
Yeah.
And there was there's no videos before that. So, boy, they've sold a lot of albums electronically since then.
Oh God, yeah.
I bought everything I could.
They're just one of those bands that nobody's like, I like Tool. Like they have a hardcore fan base. Like it's the passion that they have. So yeah, he's an interesting guy. One of the more, everybody tries to be a rock star, but one of the for sure rock stars of this generation without really even trying.
And the drummer's the best ever as far as Danny Carey.
Oh yeah.
Warning, the following program contains objectionable content, which may cause oral discomfort. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Good day.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be with you for about the next hour. Before we get back into the content, I believe we have a message from Lummy.
Yes, the Bubba the Love Sponge show is sponsored by BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com. It's a new year, and if you've been thinking about seeing a therapist, you've been putting it off because of your schedule, or you just don't want to slip on down to the office in person, then BetterHelp is for you. All you got to do, it's all entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. They want you to feel comfortable. They want you to feel relaxed. Just go on to BetterHelp.com and become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit BetterHelp.com/BTLS today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BTLS. BetterHelp.com/BTLS.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lummy. Great job. I'm thinking maybe I should get some therapy. I feel like what could have hurt, right? Last time I got therapy was probably about, 15, 16 years ago. Seth, I know you're in therapy. Does it seem to be working, or you like the drugs better?
No, I stopped going to therapy a while ago.
Oh.
Yeah, and you seem more well-adjusted.
Yeah, no, it was giving me
anxiety.
Yeah, it was giving me anxiety, so I stopped going. I'm much better for it now.
Really?
I've always wondered if you get to a point where you're supposed to get the coping mechanisms and you get them, and then you're like, okay, I'm a little better, and then you may have a little bump where you need to go back for a second. And
It becomes a chore. Like, when you start seeing somebody and they figure out, how many issues you have, and they're like, all right, we need to talk every week, and then it's every week, and you're like, I don't want to do this. Then you start canceling it. Then you're fine though. I've been okay, and I had to stop seeing this, because she was just the things she was saying to me, she didn't like how I canceled appointments. She didn't like certain things, and I was like,
yeah.
this is
judgy.
Yeah,
you got to vibe with your therapist for sure. That was something that they told me, even though I only had one option under my insurance when I was a student, so I just had to make it work. And he had one of those little ponytails. It was really disturbing. But I think I've told this story before, but I had a psychiatrist and a psychologist, and they hated each other. So when one of them was didn't want me to go on any drugs, and the other one wanted me to go on all the drugs and start turning up the volume on the drugs, and they would just counteract what the other one said. It was not very helpful. So, I don't know. BetterHelp might work for you, so check it out.
There's a really interesting piece where you ever watch Bill Maher?
Yes.
Okay. He had one with Bella Thorne where they were talking about mental illness, and she was talking about how she's
she was a Disney.
Yeah, Disney. She's like a
Why do I think
starlet.
she's porno?
But I
Okay.
think she does. No, I think she does some OnlyFans stuff,
I
but it's
see.
not sex. I think she
Okay.
does
Just
something
pictures.
else.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So, really interesting interview, and she talks about how stressed out she is and how much anxiety she has. And Bill Maher comes to the conclusion that if a psychiatrist is good, why do you need to keep seeing him?
Yeah.
At some point, haven't you learned the coping mechanism? So to hear you say that's yes, it can work.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're like, I don't need to see you anymore. You've given me at least the ability to identify some issues I got.
Yeah.
And to kind of talk through them. And that's the whole thing about being an adult. It's do I need therapy? Probably some people would say yes, but what do I need to do? Talk better to people that I love.
Yeah.
Communicate more openly.
Look at things differently.
Less. It's how many times do I need to have someone tell me that before it becomes less cathartic and more of a heavy weight on my head?
Right. But I'm thinking yes, they give you coping mechanisms on how to deal with stuff, but maybe you also just are the type of person that needs to talk it out. You just need someone, a listening ear, and nobody else wants to hear you talk about this BS, so you got to pay someone to do it.
No, that's true. I'm lucky to have people in my life that I can do that with, and some people don't have men around them that they're comfortable talking to, and they can't open up about their insecurities or the things they're dealing with at home with their wives or their children. I happen to be blessed with a lot of friends around me, not many, but close ones that I can at least talk to about these things and listen to their concerns and what they went through. And I think that's more valuable to me, watching people who have stumbled but have successfully reared children and manage their marriages and say to me, how's this going to be able to work with me?
Yeah.
It seems like most therapists are divorced and miserable.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to be like you. But let me ask you this, and because I listen to a lot of like the manosphere type stuff. I'm very interested in what like advice men are giving to other men. You said something interesting about like having other men to open up to. A lot of these guys that I listen to do not recommend you telling your insecurities to your woman, say you're in a heterosexual relationship, to your partner. Do you think that is a bad idea? To open up to your woman and go, listen, I'm real scared about this, and I'm really insecure about this, and I don't know what to do about this. I think that's a huge
mistake.
You think it's a mistake?
I think that's a huge mistake.
Why do you think that?
I think
because I agree with you. I just want to know like why you think that.
I can't talk about everybody. I can just talk in generalities. I think generally, men and women are in relationships to try to find stability with each other.
Okay.
And that if you provide an environment of stability, your relationship has a much better chance of surviving than if you project your insecurities on your wife.
Okay.
And so if you're able to share with friends or family members those things and help you get past them and project confidence around your family, then hopefully that confidence translates into confidence in your children and confidence in your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no handbook on parenting. It's a trip, Anna.
Right.
I mean, it really is. And so, people talk about relationships are hard. You got to fight to make them work.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. And it's like that with every like dyad, like every pair of people, even if you are well matched to each other, there's obviously going to be some points in life where there's going to just be conflict as a matter of just being human.
Employers, employees, wife, children, parents, it's all like that. And,
right.
As you get older, you hear these voices in your head more loudly than you ever heard them when you were younger. And you learn to control them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a constant battle for people as they get older. You'll learn as you get older. I don't know if you have those. I'm sure that's what kept you up all weekend, wondering about Monday and doing the show.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I felt like I had a lot of anxiety like Friday and maybe a little bit of Saturday, and then Sunday there was just like calm. Like I was just like ready for it, sort of a thing. And I've told this before, I don't mind hosting. It's just there's an extra level of pressure when you're hosting for someone else's show because they like to do things a certain way. It's obviously not going to be the same without them. You don't want to disappoint anyone. You don't want to disappoint yourself, that whole thing. And I do think I put like a lot of extra pressure on me just by nature of like, who I am as a person. Very hypercritical. I admire people who are narcissists and just think everything that they do is wonderful. I'm like, what a lovely way to live, because I don't think that way every day. Even if I get a compliment, I'm like, they don't mean it. It's a lie, that sort of thing.
Do you still get anxiety when you're going to perform, Seth? I still do every single time, and I've learned to train my body to say, if I don't feel that anxiety, then I'm not going to perform well. The butterflies used to scare me, and now I need them.
I don't. That's tough because like today when I interview Brent, like I'm gonna be nervous. When I have to host stuff, I get nervous. Like when I come in here and just mess around with Bubba, it's no problem. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I used to have to do my lightning stuff with those players and they're in front of you and you're recording, I would get out of there and I'd be drenched in sweat. Because the adrenaline. Then when you're done, you're like, what do I think? I feel like, I went through it. It's like, when you're a rock star and you're done performing, you're like, well, okay, now that was such a high.
Now what happens?
Yeah, now, like, what do I do? And that's when you go start doing drugs and banging chicks and everything.
Is that what happened with you?
Wow.
No, I just go straight home. That's why I do the
Take a
drugs,
nap.
but there's the banging chicks. But I'm like, what do I do? But it's such an adrenaline rush when I do those things because it's not something I normally do. So I do get that. But not in this position. But hosting, big time.
Now, if you didn't get those nerves, see, when I was a young lawyer, I used to almost vomit before every single deposition I had because I was like, I wanted to perform so well, Anna. And then Steven told me about a year into all this, I was ring announcing, I was a lawyer, and he finally explained, butterflies can be a good thing. And butterflies are what make you perform well.
Right.
And so embrace the butterflies, embrace the anxiety, because that's what gives you the extra drive to finish hard and strong. And so I'm trying to teach my kids that one, which is, there's a lot of anxiety as a kid, public speaking and things. I mean, the things that you do naturally, what appears to be naturally, people would never know. Oh, this guy's got anxiety when he does it. Of course.
Oh, yeah. It's huge. People have this huge fear of, public speaking. Like you said, yeah, it's no problem to me.
Do you consider this public speaking? I mean, it is technically, but it's also not.
No, it's not.
It's not. Like, it's so different if you're, like, in front of a crowd and you see, like, because I see how many people are watching on any given platform, right? So on Rumble, it's 1,353. If I like seeing that number, I'm like, cool, that's awesome. But if I were to see 1,353 people in front of me, I think it would be a much different experience for sure. You don't think so, Jay?
Well, no, the roast was not easy.
No,
like actually trying to do comedy is not easy when you have an audience. And thankfully, the Bubba Army is a very forgiving audience. They laugh at just about everything, unless you're Steve. And I didn't think Steve's jokes were bad. I love Steve. So, but it was, it was a very friendly audience, and that gave me a ton of anxiety because how do you ride the line of being funny and going deep and going hard, but not going too hard?
Yeah, well, that was, I feel like that was a unique experience.
Danny's will be fun next year because Danny won't take anything too seriously.
Yeah.
We'll see. Jay, have you ever thrown up? Jay, have you ever thrown up before a court case?
When I was a young lawyer, yes. I used to get like a little bit nauseous in the morning before a deposition.
There we go. That's my whole life every day, Jay. That feeling.
Yeah, interesting. But there's no like big event that makes you throw up. It's just kind of life.
Just life, yeah.
Just life, man. Have you heard about this? Because I hear a lot about this when I'm trying to hack the brain or think differently about something, change my perspective, if you will. But that anxiety and excitement are actually the same physiological experience. It's just the story that you tell yourself.
That is interesting.
I hear that everywhere where they're like, you're not anxious. You're actually just really excited.
That's what my brother, that's not true.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying, like, they try to tell you that to hype you up. So when you are nervous, you're like, tell yourself you're not nervous. You're excited.
That's right.
You're just excited. But it's the same physiological differences with like the rush of adrenaline, with the sweaty palms, with, you start getting kind of sweaty and anxious and moving around and stuff. But I feel like they're totally different experiences.
You know what the things, though? Like, I get excited about things, and then I get anxious about things. So I feel like I would just feel the same way every single time when I reacted to it. But I have heard that, and I do believe that it's like misguided excitement.
I like that.
Because your wires are crossed, so.
Yeah. Just got to change the story that you're telling yourself. That's
a lot of work too. That's why I'd rather just fight through the anxiety, So
take the pills and be done with it.
It's to have that mental fight with yourself every day. It's exhausting. Like I said, I've talked to you before, I think, on the podcast. That's why I like to just remove that anxiety, with the medicine and just go throughout the day.
But it's so temporary. I
know that you don't like me because I'm on my medication.
I didn't say I didn't like you. I actually like you more on your.
It.
No, I don't judge you for. I judge you for other stuff. I'm just here. It's not that I judge you. I don't care what anybody does. I'm just thinking like maybe there's a more permanent. I don't want to say solution, but a more permanent. Let's just call it a solution to kind of work in a different direction. That's all.
What is it?
I don't know. Going to therapy, trying to work it out, trying to do coping mechanisms, breathing exercises, stuff like that. Listen, I'm very dubious of Big Pharma, okay? I don't think that's a secret.
There's no right answer for anybody. And some people need a little bit of pharmaceutical help. Some people need a little bit of, gummy help. Some people can do it themselves through talking through their brain. But one thing that's consistent is everybody's got it going on in their head.
Yes.
And anyone who says they don't is an effing liar.
Yeah, just part of the human condition.
So as you get older, Anna, you're still a kid. And I mean that in the best way. Yeah, sure, mid-30s, you're a kid. I still, as a kid, I wasn't married. I had a bunch of offices, making tons of money, running Miami was amazing. And then all of a sudden you become a parent, and you become a husband, you become a provider, and you become a role model. And you feel this enormous weight of responsibility that you have to your family and your children if you're doing it right. And if you're not doing it right, you're going to end up in a divorce and have kids that hate you. So, yeah, there's a constant voice in your head that Lummy will know as he gets older is going to get older and older. When your kids start thinking for themselves and they have outside influences that you can't control and they spend more time with you outside of your home than they do inside of your home. I see Trey for 10 minutes in the morning and half an hour to an hour in the evenings while we're eating dinner as a family before he studies.
Yeah.
And I have a very good relationship with him. But he's getting influences 18 hours a day from people that I have no control over.
Sure.
And so you hope that you give your kids the right tools, and I feel confident that I have, but it's a stressful time. And, these guys will do great at it. Yeah, it's what's really the weird time is the middle school time because there's so many outside influences and they're still so impressionable. So like my daughter who's about to turn 12, she was dealing with all the bullying last year and she's doing a lot better now. But as they find themselves, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
So right now, these guys have their wives that are able to protect their children, and they're so innocent, and they can keep social media out, but eventually you can't.
Yeah, you can. It
And,
all seeps in.
You know, I'm hoping for them. For me, we have our eyes more wide open as parents than, say, Pitty did 10 years ago. And so
he has kids that are a bit older.
Yeah, 20. Like Steven's kids are 21 and 25, or 23 and 25.
Yeah.
And Pitty's is 21, and so no one really paid attention to social media like they do now. So I'm hoping that, you know, by the time their kids are 16, 10 more years, there's going to be a lot more control over social media. We'll know a lot more about it. I don't think their children are going to be exposed nearly to what millennials were exposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfettered access, where parents had no idea what they were looking at.
It's true.
It was insane, and it was like,
And
you know,
we had the boomers, so they really didn't know what was going on, which was kind of cool, you know, being a kid, being a millennial for me. But
do you think there's any truth to what I'm saying, or did I just make that all up?
Dude,
I'm making assumptions.
Well, I mean, the outside influences are, they're incredibly scary. I mean, just, you know, coming home and my daughter says a word or, you know, references something, and I'm like, who'd you hear this from? And, you know, I get it out
her
of her.
6 boyfriends.
Yeah, her 6 boyfriends. She comes home like, sus. She was like, you're sus.
She did that already?
She said that?
I said, yeah. Yeah, and then her and my wife are going back and saying, I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, it's not like a bad word or anything, but just the fact that she's going to school, she's learning.
It's slang, yeah.
Yeah, she's learning sauce. So that's why I've decided to teach her the cuss words before, you know, she
so
learns
they come from you.
Yeah, so she knows the right ones to learn. But yeah, every day it's something, you know. That's why I quiz her, and when I'm like, what'd you do at school? It's her thing, and she goes, I forgot. I'm like, you're not getting out of this one. Like, I need to know everything.
Tell me everything you learned.
So I don't say, how was your day? Because that's an easy good.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, what was the best thing that happened today? What was the worst thing that happened today? And you get some really interesting answers out of them.
There we go.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm getting shut down
conversation.
Now.
Yeah.
Shut down?
She's pleading the fifth almost every day. That's why I'm like, no, you tell me. I really look deep and I go, you remember what you did.
You can get it out of her by just pretend like it's a game. What was the best thing that happened today? Or who did something really stupid and goofy? What did you know?
You,
it's like,
Daddy.
oh, other than me.
Or when you came home and Daddy didn't have his pants on.
All right, that was one time. I learned my lesson, man. God, whenever I start to doze now, I put my pants back on.
Thank God. Well, you learned your lesson. I'm glad you did. Well, this is a perfect segue into, we kind of referenced this earlier in the show, but it says today's teenagers are anxious about their futures and disillusioned by politicians. I don't know how many teenagers are, you know, keeping their eyes on politicians, but I feel like they're probably more engaged in politics now. Would you say? I mean, is Trey, like, does he have any interest in politics, or like what's going on, or does he kind of hear what you have to say about things and that kind of piques his interest? Or
when the 2016 election happened, he was 9, and I did not expect him to come home and ask me questions about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And they were already talking about it on the playground. And so I just did common sense
doing lock
things.
her up chants.
Yeah, I just did things like, do you like the gate around our house? Yes. Why? It makes me feel safe. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what when Trump's talking about a wall, that's what that is. And then we did a lemonade stand, and afterwards I said, now I'm going to show you what the government does with taxes.
You took it all?
And I took
60%.
I took 90%. And I said, this is what Bernie Sanders wants to do. And
Trey
then
was not happy.
Then I took 60%, and I said, this is what Hillary Clinton wants to do.
Yeah.
And then I took 40%, and I said, this is what Donald Trump wants to do. And his eyeballs were like this. And then I gave it all to him, and I said, this is what Dad does.
You made it rain.
So, you know, there's a certain amount of common sense, and I've also told him not to believe what you read on the bottom third of the television, whether it's Fox or CNN. I do not believe either side with my eyes closed. Read the source. They're usually quoting something, and so I'm trying to train my children to just question with boldness and look for the sources, because we've had a time now where my kid's old enough that he's seen COVID. He's seen the disinformation. He's seen the Hunter Biden stuff. He's seen it all. So what do 16-year-olds get bombarded with on Twitter and Instagram? Whatever they're looking at. If you're pro-Biden, you're going to get abortion and Roe and Dobbs. And if you're Trey, you're going to get, you know, America First, and you're going to get pro-Trump stuff. And it's just whoever. That's the problem with social media. Is it just reinforces your own biases.
I know my stuff's all pro-Israel, but I like it that way.
Give me more. Give me more. Who do you listen to, Seth? Do you have like people that you listen to on the usual? Like, do you know who Douglas Murray is? I feel like you'd like him.
I don't.
You don't?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know.
Douglas Murray.
No.
So like, what's your social media like of choice?
I
like YouTube
Twitter?
better. The long version, like long
form.
Long form.
Yeah.
I probably spend the most time on Twitter because I like the information that it constantly gives me.
Yeah.
I get a lot of the sports information. A lot of it's nonsense. A lot of it's just people's own thoughts, but I'm constantly on there. And then, it'll give you updates, on news or whatever you're kind of going through. Obviously, get a lot of stuff on, Gaza and all that. So, but I don't have any podcasts. There's nobody that I listen to, no radio show that I go to on a daily basis at all. So I just listen to music.
What about you, Jay? Who are your guys?
It's interesting. I would consider myself, middle right, but I listen to a lot of people on the left.
Maybe it's not
Bill
politics.
Maher's. I like Bill. No, but I like people that talk. I like the intersection of entertainment and politics and just pop culture. So I like Club Random with Bill Maher. Not always. I don't necessarily always like what he's saying, but I find it interesting.
He's a thoughtful man.
I like Club Shay Shay.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like Douglas Murray. I like Ben Shapiro.
Okay.
I like Jordan Peterson.
Right.
There's certain people who I can watch, and then they also have interesting comedians on. I like Theo Vaughn. I like Seth. I like Joe Rogan.
Okay.
I like Gillis. What's his name that does it? Shane Gillis. And I like Andrew Schultz. And so all these people
I like Andrew Schultz too. Yeah.
These people that I've been exposed to through Joe Rogan. Again, it's like you listen to the person, then I'm going to insert. Investigate who the person is and see whether I like him. All of a sudden, I'm into Cat Williams after this Club Shay Shay thing. He's so cerebral.
Have
he's
you
so
watched
smart.
all his stand-up specials?
No, and
he's brilliant, man.
He's got like what, 12?
In that Club Shay
19,
Shay,
he said.
Club Shay Shay usually has a few million people watch an episode. It's Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
But he does a really, really good job of research. And so he had Cat Williams on. If you've not watched any of it on YouTube, it's the most captivating 2 hours you'll see.
Get high.
So
it gets weird.
Some of the funniest stuff that he says. But he exposes a lot of the dark side of
the
comedy.
Illuminati.
And so he talks about certain interviews that he was on. And so you can go back now and find those interviews.
I did.
It's just, did you see the one where
the lady
the
and
gnarled fingers?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Killer, right?
Yeah.
And so when he does this, he's had more 100-city tours than any comedian. He's had 7 more specials than Richard Pryor, 6 more specials than Martin Lawrence. And all these people he went through, he's the most produced. He's got more comedy specials than anyone, including Dave Chappelle. I think it's up to
19, he said.
Well, that's the tours, but the shows. I think he's got 12 or 14 Netflix specials.
It's 12.
He invested in all of them himself. No outside influences, no Hollywood money, none. He's done them all himself.
Yeah.
So really interesting character, and I find him to be something that's really been a good source of, like, he's funny.
Yeah,
his old
he's
stuff is
super
hilarious.
funny.
Katz, he's brilliant to me. I've been ever since I saw him, back in the day. I actually went to one of his shows he didn't even show up for back at Amalie Arena.
So nice. That's not a good look.
All of a sudden I've learned you like a Perfect Circle and Cat Williams. I feel like I'm a couple decades behind you, Seth.
Dude,
Jesus, where was I?
I love Cat, man. We're the same. I
like watching when Cat Williams got beat up by the little kid.
Yeah, what was the story behind that? He was like trying to do a pickup basketball game with 7th graders and they like kicked his ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It's a bit.
It's what happens. I mean, Cat Williams is what, like 5'2", so he
he says he runs a 440.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't run away from that little kid fast enough. He got choked out.
The cool thing he did talk about was, though, in the interview, that if he's coming to your city and you give him $100,000 to perform, he said he's taken $10,000 down to the worst part of the city and giving it away to those people. So he goes, I do that every time I go to a city. And he's like, you never hear about it because he's like, I don't need to tell you about it, even though he told us about it.
Well, there's a lot of comedians that have come out too and said that he never said anything about it, they never said anything about it, but he would just give them money for their time for doing a set.
And
he
they
would
try to
go
make
out
it-
of his way to give them $5,000-$10,000 because when you're a comedian just starting out, you only get paid
rough.
$200 for a gig. That's life-changing money. So he's the man for real.
And, the thing that was interesting about that, they tried to make it seem like it was a bad thing because he had women bring the money to him. And they were trying to make it seem like he was a pimp and these are his hoes that going in the rooms and giving him cash. And he says, would you rather work with a bunch of men that are talking men stuff in the background, or would you rather work with a bunch of beautiful women? Because I choose to work with
Makes
women.
sense.
I'd rather hear their conversations behind the back of me than men's conversations. And so, I may have had some women, that delivered some messages for me to comedians, and that's an okay thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love him.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And you've seen some of his specials, Jay?
I'm watching him now. I'm catching up on it in the last 2 weeks.
Next level, just the amount of energy that he has. And I remember Rogan was saying that he got some life advice in regards to doing stand-up comedy from Cat Williams, saying that he always felt sluggish right before a set, and Cat Williams told him, don't eat before your set.
Yeah.
He's like, don't do that. You need the energy. So
he talks about like his respect for writers. He's like, anyone can read. I want to see a writer, and people that write jokes are people that I respect. And so it's interesting. The first people that he followed was he did a competition and he won it. And if you won, you got to follow Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah,
he said they're two of the funniest individuals ever because they wrote their own material.
Yeah,
and he paid mad respect to them because they taught him the game.
Yeah, he also crapped all over Rogan's guys, which I thought was hilarious.
I know.
It was kind of funny.
Which is kind of true. In my opinion, I don't think any of those guys are funny.
It's
and
all
Brendan
opinion.
Schaub is terrible. But
You're right.
Yeah.
And some of those people are just hanger-oners, but I just thought that his approach of divulging it all was really interesting. It's just opinions.
Oh, yeah. But it was funny because he was really blowing up spots. Like, he wasn't just making innuendos and saying, like, this guy. He was, like, straight up, like, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer. They're all,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
How are you going to let Cedric the Entertainer sit here look like a walrus?
Exactly.
His hands can't even reach over his stomach. You're going to sit here and let him lie to you?
What's crazy is almost every single person he called out responded. Like, everybody felt inclined to say something, whether they were clearing it up, whether they were shedding more light on something, whether they were even name checked at all. Like, that brought out, and
it did.
The podcast posted it. That broke. I can't even tell you how many times the stuff was watched online.
None of the people could really combat what he said. I haven't seen anyone who's combated what he said in a legitimate way. Like the one joke that he talked about Steve Harvey, where he stole the joke.
Oh.
Yeah, where he was doing something about being in his lowrider that wasn't working, and he does this big physical
Cedric the
comedy
Entertainer
thing.
that stole it.
And then Cedric the Entertainer stole it, 2 years later. And it's clearly 2 years later. There's no way to overcome.
Yeah,
there's no way to do
you
it.
fact checked that, you said.
And there was most of those stories, like the one he did with that radio host. It's exactly what happened. And so when you go back, I don't see anybody who's come up with something that can show what he said about me was wrong. So, what he said about Harvey Weinstein and what Harvey Weinstein said he tried to do to him, he's like, I said no. And then the next guy that came in the room got the role. I wonder what he said.
I wonder what he had to do.
I'm like, whoa.
Chris Tucker, yeah.
And he talks about African-American men being forced to wear dresses and how he would never do it. And that's a weird thing that's on the internet. If you look at it, Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams and Denzel Washington, there's a few really, really amazing artists who have refused to do this. And there was a clip where, Cat Williams was accusing Kevin Hart of doing this, and Kevin Hart said, I would never do this. And then a few minutes later, he was on Saturday Night Live doing it.
Wearing a dress.
Wearing a dress. And it's like, what is it? What is Hollywood so perverted that that's what they think is funny?
Well, it's like the Wayans brothers just came out. I don't know if it was Marlon or
Sean.
Was it Sean?
I don't know.
One of the Wayans brothers came out. They talked about they said we put on a dress. We made white chicks, and they go we made a classic. So there are people that have come out and go, hey, listen, we respect what you're saying, but we made an incredible movie putting on dresses, and we're okay with it.
It worked for them.
I don't know if it works for everybody, but it did work for them.
Yeah, white chicks was pretty awesome.
If it's their choice, that's cool. The way Dave Chappelle described it was he went into his dressing room one time and they had a dress there to have him try to wear a dress, and he said, I'm not comfortable with this, and then he said within 20 minutes I had a new script. How's that happen?
It's crazy.
So it's just, I don't know what to believe. I think it's a really, really weird phenomena, and I think that Cat Williams is a cultural icon because of what he did. Shay Shay's thing was over 50 million last week. It's got to be 60.
God.
It's got to be 60 million.
I need to
now.
watch the second half. I only watched the first half, but it was great. Let's take a call and we'll go to break. Hello, who's this?
Good morning. It's Tesla Tony.
Hello, Tesla Tony.
Is it really Tesla Tony or is it?
It's Tesla Tony.
Okay, all right.
Really
Sorry, go ahead.
Tony.
I'm paranoid. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. So, Anna, can I give a little critique? And I'm not going to be dickish, but I just want to say, usually when I've listened to your shows, I really couldn't get into them.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, it's only Tuesday, and I cannot get enough of the show.
Oh, great.
You're just doing an amazing job. Jay, Dan, I don't know what it is. The tempo seems different right now with you guys, and I hope Bubba's listening, man. But you guys are on point right now, man.
Awesome.
So I just wanted to give a shout out.
Thank you.
Guys, man. All right, you guys have a great
All right,
week.
awesome.
I can't wait for more of the show. Man.
Beautiful. I really appreciate that, and we'll be back right after this.
It's quite painful to listen.
Children love
Bubba the Love Sponge.
the perfect combination of entertainment and education.
Yes, it's quite painful to listen until the medication kicks in. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Action!
That is a white baby.
That's a good part. Since the guy had glasses too, looked just like him.
Yeah. I've not seen that movie, but I've seen that clip. What movie?
I've only seen the clip.
Well, you know what movie it's from?
No, but I've only seen the clip too.
It's just he goes to
jail, prison.
Somebody, his girlfriend or wife, went to see him in jail and has like a kid that's, I don't know, is the kid big? I don't know.
Was it the Friday?
No, he's just a little. He's a white kid. He's a white.
What's that?
Pure white nerdy.
It was a pure white baby.
And
Okay.
the prison guard was a white guy with glasses.
Oh. That's why he's like, she's trying to say this white baby's his. He's like, he goes, whose baby is that? She's like, that's your
And
baby.
he started doing the math. He's like, I've been in here for 2 years, and that baby is like 18 months. And it's like, there's no way that's my baby.
He goes, yeah, I've been in jail for 15 years. Yeah, that's fucking great.
My Name is Earl had a funny scene like that where the Presley girl, the one who was so hot, the blonde woman.
Oh.
They were in the baby ward, and he looks up and he says to the doctor, "I have a black. The baby's black. What happened?" He's like, "Your wife slept with a black man 9 months ago." It's like the funniest thing ever.
Where's that in?
My Name is Earl.
Oh, My Name is Earl.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Have you got it? How could this happen?
You got sound over there, Elon, or what? Did you sound? What did you do? No. Bring it home. Thank you.
Hey, can you turn those pots up?
Sorry.
You're good. Thank you.
So what movie is that from? Is that from the movie with the chicks he was talking about? What's it called? Whose baby is that? No, what movie is it from? I'm fine. That is unbelievable. I got to watch more of him.
Is that with Tiffany Haddish?
I think that's the one where he's talking about it. Yeah, where he's like, the scene where I'm in has been viewed more than the movie has.
Oh, yeah.
School dance. Okay, Jay. Goodbye, Jay. What shows does Jay listen to again?
Huh?
Someone in chat said, should we rehash what show Jay's listened to?
Rehash?
People in chat said we didn't really get how many shows Jay actually listens to. They're making a joke because he went on and named every show there is.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said.
Like,
Can we
I don't know. It's a
rehash?
pretty extensive list.
Yeah, no. People in chat said, can we rehash it?
Oh, okay.
Because it was like 30 people, and they couldn't write it all down when you said, is there a couple people that you prefer
Ben
to listen
Shapiro, Douglas Murray said.
to? And then he named like every podcast. That is track Jane. If you're like racing, check out flowracing.com.
Check out Flow Racing.
Wait, Macho, what are you doing? Save an ass? Did you save it as a wave? No, don't hit record yet, Macho.
Self-checkout theft.
Self-checkout?
Theft.
It's easier than that. I'm going to do my multi-track thing. Here, you take it and get your 7. Let me drag it over, Macho. What are you doing? You already saved it as a wave.
All right, I will, Biggie. Thank you.
School dance.
Thursday, Permagrom.
School dance? School dance.
Is Stein coming on tomorrow or no?
I'm not sure yet.
He and Brian were pretty funny last week.
Oh, they were. I could listen to that every week. It's so good.
Stein needs to come with better facts because there was a congressman who's in charge of the investigation that literally said last week that there were 200 FBI agents within the crowd and within the Capitol itself. And so if you're going to argue with Alex, that's what I would have said is know the facts. Because Brian just kept saying, what are the facts? What are the facts? And that's a great argument. What are the facts? He didn't have any, but there are.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just came out. I think it's Gomer, whatever his name is.
No, Grouper Lips. I'll check it out, man. I'm sorry. I've just been.
The FBI released.
I do watch Greg Gutfeld, Snizuki Slayer. I think he's pretty funny.
I just haven't even turned on the TV lately, Grouper Lips. But
In there, Jay?
Say it again?
The FBI released it.
Did they?
I don't know. You just said 200.
No, it was a guy that was on Tucker, who is a Louisiana congressman who is in charge of part of the investigative committee.
He doesn't care about opinion polls and research studies.
Oh, I feel safer already.
He's more concerned about getting a hot porn star for a mix-in with his wife.
Okay, good, because I want to have sex.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love.
Feels this way when they try to quote get off the grid, because I feel like it's important to kind of detach sometimes, but sometimes you just feel like you really can't, especially like with people like Bubba and Jay who have their own business that they are fully responsible for, and it's hard to just kind of like walk away from it and have no correspondence with anyone or anything at work. And so this study is saying that you truly can't unplug from work. It shows that a feeling of shame is felt by employees for properly detaching from emails and messages. Now, Jay, you frequent Costa Rica.
This used to be a problem for me, but as you get people that can manage the fort while you're gone, then you're able to take a little bit of peace. And I hope that Bubba can take peace knowing that you and Seth and Dan and Lummy and everyone
he's at the
here,
track. He's just doing his other job.
Well, he's still, but you don't think he's listening?
Yeah, he's probably listening, for sure.
And so I used to check my emails every single day, 15 times a day, and so I would never really be able to unplug. And just the last few years since my cousin joined me and since Dan's joined me, I'm able to have the peace where I can go away and I'll be like, I haven't looked at my email in 4 days.
And you're not paranoid about it.
No, because I know if there's something important, they'll call me.
Yeah.
And I say this phrase, it's kind of cheesy, but you know what really rich is? Not having a cell phone or an email.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I don't need any of that.
Is that your plan when you retire, just to kind of throw it in the dumpster and just be done with it?
Just say, call me when you need me, leave a message somewhere, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And I hope that Bella and Scott and everyone else is willing to be able to take the firm. I mean, they should all be able to do that at some point. And so I've been doing this a long time. I'm in my 29th, almost my 30th year.
Damn.
So, it took me 28 years to relax.
Okay, well, it happened. Is your plan to retire in Costa Rica?
I think my ultimate goal is to spend a few months in Costa Rica, not all at the same time.
Okay. You'll be like a snowbird there, maybe?
Yeah, I think summers. I'd love to spend a couple of months there. I'd love to spend some Ocean City time. I mean, that's the objective.
Sure.
I'd like to be done when I'm 60. I don't think I will be. I'll probably do 65 just because I need that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that 12 years is going to go quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're gonna be bored.
12.
They're gonna have to start getting brought in for special cases. And you're gonna be working full time again.
Yeah, and that's what I hope I do. Is I hope that they call me when they have big decisions to be made. That I still try all the cases. I don't ever plan on being disengaged because then I think you lose it.
Your mind, you mean?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I agree. That's why my dad retires this year, and I think my mom either next or the following. But I am a little bit concerned about that because I have seen people kind of go downhill once they retire just because they don't keep their minds active. I don't think that's going to happen with my parents because they have lots of hobbies and friends and they read and they do things to keep their mind active. But if you stop doing that, then that, I think, becomes very problematic.
Vegas Bubba Army 25 Cash App.
Hey, thank you for the money. Cash App, PayPal at the Bubba Army.
Been quiet today on the cash.
A little bit, not too quiet. We got some John Costica and Scouting Big Gulp action, and yeah.
Linda Fennell, Jesus.
Yeah, B Fennell. Thank you. Sorry, Lummy. I'm sorry. I'm on the spot.
No, not
here.
you. It's a Jay.
Oh, Jay. Yes.
They're trying to call it out.
Yeah, we got stuff. We got
Good.
stuff going on.
Good.
Lummy, do you feel like you have a hard time unplugging because you might get yelled at?
Oh, yeah, you can never unplug.
Okay, yeah. I feel like the same.
You gotta have a special ringtone for me, though.
Do you really?
Yeah. You gotta hit the override, too, so if your phone is on silent, it rings through.
Oh, yeah. Like a 911 dial.
Yeah.
I feel like I think we all spend, at least, I'll speak for myself. I definitely spend probably too much time on my phone, and I think I've been cutting back over the years, but I still feel like I waste an unnecessary amount of time, the stuff I just kind of get wrapped up in. But especially for this job, I feel like you really can't be away from your phone too long. One time I didn't respond to Bubba for 3 hours, and he got real mad at me, and it was because I was taking a nap. And so then I'm like, man, I can't even nap in peace.
Well, if I can say something maybe a bit controversial, I think when you're younger, you shouldn't be doing this. I don't think that I don't think you have the right at 35 to tell your big boss that, hey, I'm going to unplug for 3 months. I have a cousin who's in charge of the legal department of a very big international pharmaceutical company, which I love to bust his balls about because I say you work for the devil.
Right.
But he has to deal with these millennial employees. And so, Seth, you won't even believe this. He had a male employee tell him, I'm taking paternity leave, and I'm going to take the full 90 days, and then I'm going to take another 30 days at 20 hours.
Partial.
And do not call me. Do not email me. Do not disturb me for that entire 90 days.
He told his boss that?
Yes.
And what did the boss say? Well, you can take forever
He's my cousin.
off.
He's like, you have to say, okay. Because I said, 20 years ago, you take that kid aside and you say, listen, you're a smart young kid. You're going to really be something someday. What you tell your boss is, call me anytime.
Yeah.
Morning, noon, or night. I'm not the one giving birth, Mr. Boss.
Yeah.
Mr. Boss Man. I'm here to make your problems easier. And then as a lawyer, how do you separate yourself from your caseload for 90 days, a quarter of the year? I would go nuts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where people are going now. And so, no, I don't think a 32-year-old kid who's in his first job for a big Fortune 400 company should be able to just unplug. How dare you?
Yeah.
It took me 25 years.
That.
Are you for paternity leave? Are you for fathers getting off now?
I think my cousin just had it, and I let him take it very flexible. Take as much time as you need, but there's no 90 days. I always gave my female employees 90 days.
Okay.
But I think paternity leave is a joke for someone who actually has ever had a kid. What do we do during the first 3 months? Nothing.
Well, the first...
I'm telling you, men are the most useless help during the first 3 months of a baby's life. There's very little we can do. Our wives hate us.
Oh.
They're going through a lot of hormonal imbalances. And not my wife hates me. Every wife hates their husband after they give birth.
Right.
They don't want to touch their husband. Husbands can't nurse their kids. It's like we're terrible at everything. And they tell us the whole time we're terrible.
You can let the mom sleep. That's what I did on my 2 days off. Well, technically it was 1 day, but it's still. I mean,
your paternity leave was a weekend?
yeah, it was a weekend.
But he had his phone on his lap ready to vibrate in case Bubba called him.
During my 2 days?
I mean, it'd be fun if Bubba told Lummy, like, hey, man, you could have 90 days, fully paid, just, stay home with Ashley. No way Lummy would even take him up on that. He would think it was a trick.
It most certainly is.
Yeah, you're right, Seth.
You don't get baited.
It's a reverse Abidal right there.
3 months, yeah, right.
You got to be careful with that stuff. I don't know. I definitely feel anxiety if I'm away from my phone too long, but I feel like it's important. I try to disconnect usually like maybe an hour a day if I go for like a run or bike ride, just to not have anything. No. So you're forced to kind of be present, at least in my case, in nature. I live by a beautiful trail, so we go on the trail and there's trees and birds and water, and I feel like it's important to kind of connect with that. But yeah, there's a little bit of anxiety when I get back that I'll have 30 text messages going, where the F are you?
And see, this is so funny. I don't feel any pressure, anything when I leave here, because having just, worked at iHeart, you've got emails all day. You got salespeople reaching out to you. You've got a boss reaching out to you. You've got different things. You got meetings that you have to get into. And there's none of that here. There's no like, I have a reminder for a Zoom call. There's no, I just missed an email from Bubba. Yeah. Like, you'll get a text message if somebody needs you, and that's the extent of it. So I feel like it's free, very stress-free. Being in, maybe that's just my position here, but
compared to
Lummy?
corporate world,
yeah,
I mean, I get that.
Yeah,
Lummy,
it
what
is.
say you?
No comment.
Well, you're in a different position, Lummy. If you went over to iHeart, you would feel free, being a corporate slave. You'd feel like when the guy got out of jail for Shawshank Redemption and hit his knees on the rain. Like that's how free you would feel if you were in corporate America.
Oh, I love that. It's hilarious.
Oh no, it's time to go.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
We're getting out on time today, folks. Clem and Kush, but with Brent, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Podcast only.
That is right. We're going to pull the nose up on January, very close to 100,000 downloads. So
excellent. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jay, for coming in.
My pleasure.
Seth, Lummy, Dr. Dan, Rhett, and Macho Man. Appreciate you all.
Good job, Anna.
Thank you.
Great job.
We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Goodbye, and God bless.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lumix.
Co-host, Anna Hummel.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host J. Diaco Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I repeat hello.